Yo, guys, what is up? It is your host, Wayne Lannon, here on the Night Talk, here on FreedomRevolutionNetwork.com. Guys, it is good to be back. I have TLO in the house. Holy shit!
Good evening.
What is going on, man?
Leagues take the wings.
Nothing but the rent.
Oh my God, TLO is on. Holy shit! What is up? Wow, I totally sent you that out of the inspire of hoping you would be on, and well, my dreams come true. Look at that.
Let's not get too excited now. It's just an appearance here.
Wow, guys, tonight here on the Night Talk. So, first off, I want to hit with something important and kind of a warning for everybody. There is a video on TLO. I don't know if you've read about this yet. You've probably heard about it. There is a video transpiring around social media um, of a guy sitting at a desk, white man with a beard, holding a phone. If you guys watch this, if you guys see this video, please, I am begging each and every one of you, do not look at the video. Um, and I'm going to try to say this without getting emotional because my smart self decided to watch the video. Robert Mccnut shot himself 2 days ago with a 12 gauge to the face. He took his own life on social media, and now everyone's. Kilo, can you believe that everyone's downloading this video and putting it everywhere?
I believe it.
They've put it on Facebook. They've put it on YouTube. YouTube took it down. It's all over TikTok. It's on Twitter.
Yeah, I haven't seen it on Twitter. I'm not on that TikTok shit.
It's on. I can search it up on the internet, and and man, it's that time of month where it's Suicide Awareness Month, and holy shit, dude, that just it traumatized the shit out of me.
Well, if you watch the whole video, it'd be pretty intense.
His mom was on his live feed the night that he did it. His mother
Well,
watched the whole thing transpire.
well, if you are posting on social media, you're obviously looking for an audience.
Yeah, and some people do it because they don't want to write the note.
That too.
And my buddy did that a year ago. He said his goodbye on a live feed, and next thing you know, shot himself. And it's heartbreaking. You see this stuff happen, and then everybody uses it for fame or clout or whatever the fuck you call it these days. TLO, did I make any sense?
Sense about what?
They're they're
You're talking about this video. You're not
they're
like asking a question or anything like that.
it seems like people are using this video to get famous because they're showing some guy blow his head off.
Yes, well, that's the world we live in, where we, I don't know, glorify all these dumb little moments to the point where everything is scrutinized, our whole lives, and we're judged by them. And so people use the social media as an outlet, trying to reach out, trying to connect.
I can't do that.
And even to be truthful, and even in last moments and even in the dark place, you still want to
Right.
try and connect.
Right.
You got hollow.
And there was people like there was a lot of us on this live video just trying to get him
No.
to change his mind. Like we were trying to get him. Like dude, like it's not worth it. A lot of us pouring our heart and our soul and our mind into this one individual. And then there's people in there calling him a pussy, going like, "You won't fucking do it." Like, so what? You want him to take his life? Last time I
For some people, yes. The answer is simple. It's yes.
last time I heard, you can go to prison for that.
Yeah, it's very tough to try though, because there's been numerous cases where it has been used, like social media and postings and whatnot in trials, but it's very difficult. There's actually rules against using it in the court of law, and so I believe there's 4 states now. And anybody out there can correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe there's 4 states that had to pass special laws to actually be able to include like social media and whatnot as far as evidence.
Wow, I didn't even know that. Last time I heard it was punishable by law.
I mean,
You
yeah, they can come after you, but it's very difficult to prove and very difficult to associate. Just think about the poor, well, I wouldn't say poor, but I would say not that brilliant couple YouTube stars, once again trying to connect, or as you put it, claim to fame. But this Dodo decides that he's Superman and asks his girlfriend to shoot him through a book. And she actually does it and
Yikes!
kills him. Yeah, this happened about 2 years ago, I do believe. But they had a hard time getting any traction in the case just because of the fact that a lot of the social media postings and whatnot were omitted. And so after that case, there was a lot more push to include that. And so that's where you're probably under the impression that it's law. It's not law completely yet. Definitely not federal law. It's just state by state at the moment.
So what? Are they're trying to push it there? I'm guessing.
Well, obviously the social media websites and all those guys, Facebook. I mean, just look at the atrocious behavior by that piece of shit Zuckerberg. I
Yeah.
mean, that guy has got absolutely no humanity to him. I mean, people realize that Facebook was created so that him and his college buddies can look at tits.
I
Okay?
remember
Like,
that. Yeah.
yeah, think about it, people. Think about it. Just like most people don't know that the Bluetooth symbol is actually a runic symbol that was created from I do believe, the initials of the guy who invented it. So,
Oh, the Bluetooth symbol on our phones.
yeah,
I didn't know that
that's
was a
actually,
runic symbol.
yep. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff that most people, general audiences, if you were, don't know or are privy to, and a lot of that stuff usually, I wouldn't say dictates the outcome, but does play a part in whatever manifests as an ending or closure.
Right. So, TLO, my next question is how the hell have you been?
Surviving just.
You done anything interesting recently?
No, just work a lot of overtime. People are quitting and disappearing, and I don't know if they're being taken or if they're running away and hiding. I'm not sure, but I know at both of my workplaces, we've had quite a bit of turnover.
Yikes.
We've even had a few people transfer at my retail job. And so a lot of people are just, it seems like, running. And so that leaves the people who don't run holding the bag. And so that's why I was working overnight during the weekend at my desk duties for the condominium place. So
Yikes. You were on midnights. How was that?
it was not fun.
I bet.
Not
I
fun at
hate
all.
the midnight shift fucking sucks.
Yep, 11 to 7.
I hate that shift.
So yeah, they were not fun, and that's on top of the Banana Republic shifts here and there, and then just my normal shifts at the desk, which is 3 to 11.
Yikes. So you were pulling what, 3 shifts in a day?
Correct.
God.
I worked most of the day of a 24-hour period.
You're not doing that now, are you?
No, I'm home, but I might have to do it this weekend. Just because right now my recruiter for the one job has had a lot of people commit, accept the job, and not show up.
Wow.
So I'm not sure if that's just the mentality right now, the mentality of folks these days, or if it's a direct cause and effect from all the shit and riots in the downtown district of Minneapolis.
Are they still going on?
No, not as organized as they were. Now it's mostly just random acts of violence.
You had to stab a motherfucker lately?
Almost.
Again? God.
Oh, yeah, they're always testing me. They always test me.
Tilo, I have a feeling you're going to end up in prison one day.
It's more likely than other alternatives, yes.
I love how you go, it's more likely in other alternatives, yes.
But
Yeah, man.
no, it's because people are losing their shit. I mean, you look at any of the stuff that's going on in the world, not the COVID shit, because that's all just, I don't know. I don't doubt the virality of the virus. I don't doubt that it kills. But I do find it amazing that I literally only know of one person who knew a person that died of COVID. I've not known anybody, any of my um, acquaintances, friends, family. No one has died. Um, Hell, I don't even think any but two have actually said that they've had the virus. And so it's hard. And then, we're expected to do these things, and now you have this political duality that's sort of implied with the COVID, since it's become a political force that both parties are using. If they sit there and say, "Oh, blah blah blah," Trump is the one who's responsible for politicizing the virus. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Biden and Kamala are telling you not to wear masks. Bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. But, there is some validity to it. I mean, Biden does actually have a um, a
Valid.
propo that says that if he were to become president, that he would make a federal mandatory mask wearing. And so,
Federal.
yes, he would make it a federal. So not by state, but he would dictate that everybody has to wear a mask.
What the
And so
fuck?
so there's definitely stuff on both sides, and that's the shit that gets to me. Is like, don't get me wrong, a lot of this stuff, the bullshit that the Republicans and whatnot have done is bullshit and has definitely been a detriment to this country. But the Democrats are definitely not without sin. So I always get a little darker at this point in any of the political seasons just because it's both sides are ravenous and constant propaganda on the TVs and this and that. And it just cheeses me off because we always go through these cycles, and all these politicians, all of them, doesn't matter if you're Democrat, Republican, independent, but they all lie. They all sit there and they push out all this bullshit and these promises, and they never do it. They never do it. You know, Obama had all these promises of making the world a better place. I'm sorry, but my world got a lot shittier after Obama got to be president.
Yeah.
I saw a hell of a lot more. To be honest, everyone keeps saying that it's Trump that, um, is baiting all these people with race. And to be honest, it's a sad state of affairs, but Obama was the one that started it because once you had a black man in the White House, that pissed off anybody who has any sort of, ire or irk or whatever, any sort of racist bone in their body, it would totally piss them right off. And so, right then and there, you created enemies. And then there's another fact, the fact that the majority of the African Americans, especially the ones that have been falsely imprisoned, almost all of them happen on Obama's watch. Obama, still to this day, led the nation in the highest rate of black incarceration in American history.
And that is
Okay,
true.
people, and that is a fact.
Yeah, I was about to
And
say, I will
we're
back you on
talking
that.
Civil War, we're talking including the fucking Jim Crow days, people. Think about that. So when people sit there and try and put Obama on this pedestal, it always just pisses me off. Plus, he committed a huge international crime by killing Osama bin Laden. He killed a foreign leader on foreign soil without their damn permission. You damn right that's freaking huge. Like if any other country did that with any other thing, they would be at war. I mean, just look at the shit that's happening over in Belarus. They're just
Um,
having fall. They're just having fallout from elections. Elections, people. It hasn't even gotten to that point yet. But if it does, it's going to get ugly, and it's going to get ugly quick.
right. And the one thing I wanted to mention since you brought up Obama is is that he was wasn't he president in office when Benghazi happened?
Right. Yeah, and that whole Benghazi thing, that was foobar from top to bottom. The
Let's see
whole
what Clinton was behind it. Her husband was behind it. Obama had to be behind it.
Well, of course, he was a president at the time, so if he didn't know, then why the hell do we have a president who doesn't even know what the hell's going on in his own country?
Yeah, how the fuck do we know? How the fuck, if he didn't, how the fuck did he not know that someone in his fucking Senate
Right.
had fucking emails about the whole Benghazi issue and seeing that like that? Here's the thing: is like everyone's throwing Benghazi in these fucking video games, dude. And I'm sitting here going, like, what the fuck? Like, and
Yeah.
I'm going like everyone. He didn't kill Bin Laden. Bin Laden died of liver failure. That was the propaganda. You make a good point. I mean, I was happy as shit the morning that Bin Laden died. Don't get me wrong. I'm a young kid that learned that he was behind, 9/11. So of course a kid my age is gonna be happy a fucker's dead that attacked, the U.S. soil. Because by the day that comes, and I've learned this with the whole BLM, Black Lives Matter thing going on, Back to Blue thing going on, is the one thing I've realized, and this might piss a lot of people off, is that we're still, at the end of the day, we're all human. And we all fucking make mistakes. This is just what I've learned. Okay?
Yeah. But we live in the day and age now where people's mistakes from 10, 20 years ago can cost them their livelihoods, their friends, their family. So right now we live in very precarious times. And people don't realize that. They think we're being progressive or we're, elevating ourselves. We're actually reverting. We're actually going backwards in so many ways. It's like it's mind-boggling that nobody sees it.
Right.
Um,
It, and when you say that we're going backwards, this is one of the reasons I've stopped marching.
right.
Okay? Only thing we're doing is out there calling these people racial fucking slurs. We're calling them out their name because they wear a uniform and a badge.
Well,
You know,
yeah. I mean, that
and they've
is
made,
a fair and valid point. And I've
you
always
know,
said that with demonstrations. It's like, yeah, you can demonstrate up and down the street and yell and scream and all you want, but unless you actually like try and make a change, just sitting there and using your voice isn't doing shit. Obviously. We've done it
right.
before. We've been down this road before so many times. Um, and has it changed? No.
No, and you know what? And I've rode with multiple officers in the past 2 years. I rode last year with Maslin, the year before with Canton, and the year before with Maslin again. So in 2018, I rode with Maslin. 2018, I rode with Canton City PD. 2019, a week actually after my son was born, actually, I told my ex fiance, I was canceling my ride along. They told me no because it was scheduled and I was excited for it. And here's the things, and I'm gonna say this, yes, are all cops bad cops? Most of them, yeah. But there's
Yeah,
still them
there are
few.
there are a few that are out there trying to do what they're supposed to be doing, which is protecting and serving the community that they are supposed to be a part of.
Right, and like when I rode with Maslin, the one cop that I rode with, I made a special bond with him. I'm not gonna say how because it's a certain circumstance that I would rather not ever bring up again. And he's one of the most laid back cops. And I will say this: we had to take a drunk woman out of jurisdiction, and instead of charging this woman, and she was black, mind you, drunk off her ass, he didn't handcuff her. He put her in the back. She was screaming, yelling obscenities at him. He asked me to shut the window. I did because I was closer to the lever because I was in the passenger side seat of the car. I was up front with him. Scariest fucking thing to ever do is see it from the eyes of a police officer. And what was nice about it, he went like, "Ma'am, I need you to stop screaming, yelling, and cussing at me, please. I am doing politely what you asked for permission. Can we tone it down a little?" And like Canton, when I rode with them, the officer that I rode with, I switched between two officers that night. Actually, no, that was the one when I did last year. I switched between two officers. Um, and it's like this. There are cops out there. And it's like this. Is like my best friend just became a state trooper, someone I go to church with, and he has my full support. Because he's a Christian, he's kind hearted, And the last thing he's ever going to want to do, and he said this today, he graduated, the last thing I ever want to do is pull my gun on somebody. Does that make sense, TLO?
Absolutely.
He went the last thing
People
I
people with the right mindset and they're in law enforcement, that's their thought process. They don't ever actually want to use their firearm.
and he went like, I know the day is gonna come that I have to use it, but he's going like, I'm hoping I never have to.
Now, where was that, MGTOW? I
Yeah,
didn't see that. I mean, I know that the Black Lives Matter protests have been very egregious as far as the people that are participating in it. Um, there's definitely some bad elements. Obviously, there's bad elements to most things, but yeah, no, I didn't catch any of that. And to be honest, I'm kind of surprised because let's just face it, there's enough out there with Israel, with the Jewish community that if that were to happen, they would definitely say something. You know, they wouldn't be the ones to sit there and just kind of let it pass or whatever.
right.
Such a
And
thing. It always it does get to me because I'd have to say, being one of multiple races, that I have seen a pretty large chunk of the black community be egregiously as racist as any KKK person. You know, I've heard, plots of poisoning white people. I've heard of plots of, going after cops, and like I've heard it all. And so,
right.
yeah, like for people to sit there and, just say, oh, well, I'm black, so, I'm empowered and I'm right and I'm justified and this and that. It's like, no, 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 no. That's definitely the wrong mentality, because that's the same road that the people that you're marching against, that's how they started. They started thinking they were right. And they started to just carry on with that thought process, and it affected every action and decision going forward.
Migto said New York.
Well, that's the thing. I just watched West Side Story last night. And
That's a
so,
good movie.
yeah, they're remaking it. I'm sure that's going to be atrocious. But anyways, no, the that's the one thing most people don't realize is there is a vast, and I do mean vast, amount of hatred between minorities, especially the blacks. Like, let's just be real. Like, black folk and other minority communities do not really get along all that well. I mean, look at some of the Black Lives Matter protests where, some of the LGBTQ community were tagging along, and there was infighting with that.
Right. And do you know what, Migto? You make a good point. TLO, you can see the comments because you're on the FRN account, right?
Yes.
Migto said talk about Riddle Coffee. Rothschild controls Israel and is ultimately funding BLM, so you would not hear a peep out of Israel if it makes BLM look bad. And see, and here's the thing: there is so much shit going on with Israel. I read a post last week that Israel started uh, shooting missiles back at another country that was shooting at them, and that's the first time I've ever heard of Israel retaliating.
Yeah, they have
So
a pretty stout missile defense system, and so yeah, they can mount an offense if they wanted to. Um, I mean, hell, that's what happened with the shit back in the 70s
right,
with the
and
Israel and Palestinian conflict.
right, and TLO, I do want to say something personally to you because I figured since if you were coming on, I would let you know. Thank you for helping a brother out, man. Since
Yeah.
I've lost my job.
No, it's all
losing
good.
my job is not one of the greatest things that's happened. Well, I didn't lose my job. Everyone knows the situation. I'm not going to go into it, but and here's the thing with Israel. We don't really hear anything coming out of that country.
Stay with me.
We really don't hear much, no, they retaliate against Gaza all the time. See, I don't know that much about Israel. I
It's
try to
because
be
it's been a constant conflict for a very long time, and so a lot of times people don't even really report on it just because it happens all the time. I mean, when they have their the missiles or any sort of like rocket attacks, man, like for them it's like with us with our, our severe weather sirens and shit. We usually just kind of not really acknowledge them, but yeah, they've
right,
gotten so used to that shit that it's just like a daily thing for them. And so, they won't go out and say, "Oh, like this and this happened," because probably
right.
tired of reporting on it all the time. But yeah,
Yeah,
they do
that is
shoot
true.
rockets back and forth.
Right. And Scarlett is on her way because she almost fell asleep and she woke up. We're like, oh shit, I'm coming. Hold on. And you know what, guys? I do want to apologize for everybody for taking a like kind of like a 2 week break. I know I was on. I think it was almost 2 Fridays ago. Um, when I was on last because I preached for about an hour. Um, but this week I'm not. This is my last show for about a week. And I'm going to say why here in a minute. TLO, are you still with me?
Yes.
I am going to see my fiance this week. Um, and it's her birthday on Saturday. So I'm going to spend a birthday week with her.
That's
Sorry, I
cool.
get um
I made it up.
I've been honestly kind of oh my god. I'm getting hold on, TL. I'm getting a text message about the whole video thing.
Everyone that's dead is dead. That life. We know we all knew. Soldiers from 32. Do you really believe that Jackson thought you had orders from Coin? She trusted
But
Bob.
no, and like I wanted to apologize to everybody because I haven't been on lately. I've been still kind of struggling since Hurricane Laura. Which by the way, I do have an update on that. A buddy of mine is boots on ground at the moment in Louisiana, and he said they got rocked, and they're not expecting to recover for probably at least a good year with all the damages that were done.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. They didn't really have a good, let's just be real, they didn't have a really good or real substantial buildup after Katrina and whatnot. So,
Yeah, they said they got rocked and they got rocked bad, and surprisingly, it barely touched New Orleans,
correct.
which shocks me because I thought New Orleans was going to get the dead smack of it.
Yeah, New Orleans is geographically in a very odd, peculiar spot. That's what I remember from being there. Um, it's in a way, it definitely has some protections, but in a lot of ways it doesn't. So considering that this storm seemed to be more driven by wind and the rain than anything, it wasn't as powerful of like the storm surge as say with like Katrina or Rita or any of those. And so the storm surge is what usually does the majority of the damage. Because like let's just face it, there's always like wind, and sometimes there's decent wind without hurricanes.
Yeah.
Hell,
The
look at our
winds,
weather. Look at our weather now. We've got Denver that's going to do almost 100-degree swing.
Denver, they're just saying now the evacuation for Britain Spa Hot Springs and the Devil's Creek Summer Home community is being raised to a level 3.
Oh yeah, no, they're going to get smacked. They said accumulating snow, and how many times do people say accumulating snow in September?
See, that confused me. Now, wait a minute, because that confused me. Snow in September, we normally don't see snow till about February or March.
Well, here we in Minnesota, we do have it at the end of September, October usually. I mean, hell, we had the Halloween blizzard in '91, so. Yep, and I was dressed as Geordie LaForge.
And here's the thing on all this environmental bullshit. I'm hoping this is the way of the fucking environment saying I've had enough of the coronavirus.
Well, most likely it's the environment saying it's had enough of humans.
Can't blame them at this point.
Right.
I can't blame Mother Nature.
She definitely seems irritated.
Irritated?
Well, she hasn't busted out Cascadia yet, so I mean, if she busts Cascadia out, then you know she's pissed.
These keepers must be shelling the rebels outside the city. Not outside.
Uh-oh, did we lose Dwayne?
Small arms fire. Maybe why.
Looks like we lost Dwayne. So I guess I'll continue on. No, there's not really much going on in my world. Lots of work.
Sorry about that,
Lots.
TLO. I'm finally fucking back. My computer. I accidentally somehow clicked the button and turned airplane mode on my computer.
Out.
Which I guess it's my F12 button. And
Right.
somehow I hit F12 and I went like, well, and next thing you know, I see the airplane mode symbol come off. I'm trying to put my fucking computer in full screen. I don't remember how to do this. I'm still using this new computer, Kilo, and I still haven't learned it yet. Dude,
Well, depending on
much.
the computers, yeah, if that's got a bunch of bells and whistles.
She said she was coming. I'm going like, you coming still? LOL. You get a new phone yet, TLO? Or are you still done with the old piece of shit?
Still with the old.
We're right here.
Dude, I'm about to go to AT&T when I get a job and just ship you a fucking phone.
We'll probably deactivate the plots around here for the rest of
Oh, people don't realize phones are starting to run out. That's why a lot of these phone companies have been pushing back their releases for their new phones, their new generation phones. Only Apple moved theirs back up 1 month.
I don't know. The new Samsung's supposed to come out next month.
New Samsung comes out next month. The month after that will be the new Apple. And then I believe in February, they're releasing 2 new LGs. I believe the LG G9 and something called Wing.
Nice.
and Wing is supposed to be, top notch, like Apple iPhone 10 sort of shit. So
Right, and and speaking of phones, I guess they made a smartphone that folds.
yes, they've actually made a few. This one that just came out recently is the second generation of the foldable, so it's a little bit better.
And I'm sitting there, that makes no fucking sense in my mind whatsoever.
Yeah, not really. I mean, unless the technology is superior enough or advanced enough that you can actually like fold it and it's not just like it's bendable. Because if you can actually like fold it and it like folds in half, then I could see it, you know. But until that point, if it's just something where, ooh, look, it kind of folds kind of clamshell like, it's like,
No,
ooh,
it
that's a,
no, this new one splits in half, like
yeah,
folds completely.
that's what I'm saying. It's like until our technology gets to that point, it really isn't like that big of a deal.
Right,
But
and
once you get to the point where you can fold it up, like fold your phone up and put it in your pocket, that's when that technology or that functionality would be useful.
right, and another thing I'm going to talk about since Scarlett's on her way
Finally.
is they're telling kids and parents to prepare for sleepovers at the school.
Yes. It's because right now there's a lot of back and forth with that, as rightfully so, but still. Um, People still haven't figured out how they're going to manage it. And so, like, say with what's going on with the colleges, where some of them are trying to be responsible, and if they do catch college kids with some COVID, that they isolate them as opposed to trying to send them back home so that they could spread it some more. Um, so that's kind of the inkling or the thought process behind what you heard, because I did overhear that in a little bit of rumblings online, is how some elementary schools may do that, where they'll just quarantine everybody together.
It's not just elementary schools, dude. It's elementary, middle school, high school.
Well, you know damn well they wouldn't be able to do it with the high school students. They already have enough troubles with them.
I know I used to be a high school student.
Yeah, very recently.
What, I graduated, 4 years ago?
That's still a lot better than 23.
But it makes us say, but if you drop it, it won't break the screen. Bullshit! I dropped that bitch once and it's gonna break. See, this is why on every phone I get, I have an OtterBox on it. I have dropped this down to steps. I have dropped this on concrete, like from 5 stories up. I have dropped this down off the side of a 10-story building while my fiance has been on the phone. And surprisingly, my phone hasn't broke yet, or my case.
Right?
I broke the belt holder. And I'm pissed off about that, but that's whatever.
Right? The phone's still intact.
The phone's still intact. Well, I broke the. It's a funny story about the belt clip. I was getting out of a car and it got caught on the seatbelt. Next thing I heard it snap and half my phone dropped.
Yep. They
And I
do
went
do
like,
that.
well,
That's why I stopped buying those belt clip guys, because they would always catch on shit like that. That or door frames or doors and they're closing. Because let me
well,
tell you, around here in Minneapolis, doors close real fast on you.
the reason I had it because like when I was doing my ride-alongs and stuff, my I always had my phone clipped to me. And it's so easier for me to access from my side instead of having to try to dig in my back pocket or my hoodie pocket or my pants pocket, try to hurry up and answer the phone. When it's literally it's one movement for me. It's pushing the button and grabbing my phone. So like, so it's like this, it's like people try to say that, technology is going wacko these days, and I can agree to a certain extent. Video Kid's husband actually had to help me get my computer back because I physically had my computer, but someone was wanting me to pay $25,000 to get back and unlock my computer, which is called ransomware.
Yeah.
And that took me, I think, 2 hours to get through
Hmm.
to get my computer back. It was actually the night I was supposed to do a show. it
Well, that would explain that.
was the night I was supposed to do a show, and I got hit with the ransomware. And this was back in what, Video Kid, like March. So I don't know, man. Shit's been hectic. Like, it's like I go see my fiance this week. I come home, and then when I come home, I got these crap ton of meetings with all these churches. Dude, I am piled high to like 10 meetings in a week with churches.
Yeah, that is a few.
Like, what? How many meetings do I have next week? Let me look at my phone. On the 16th, I have 5 meetings alone, back to back to back to back at the same church. With different churches.
That is impressive.
Well, when you're trying to plan a revival, it's a little
Right.
complicated. Speaking of that, TLO, are you still coming down next month?
I am unsure.
I need to know by like the end of the month, Goofy.
I don't know.
Because if you are, I need to prepare to have you down here. Because you got a place to stay. I'm
Oh,
not putting you in a hotel.
I'm sure I could afford a hotel.
Hell no, I'm not. Me and my mom's already talked about it. You and Scarlett come down, y'all crashing with us. I'm giving you my bed. I'll sleep on the couch.
That's very kind of you.
Shit, my mom's giving up my bed for her bed for Scarlett. The hell are you talking about?
That doesn't
Shit,
surprise me.
shit, they just might share a bed. You never fucking know. But it's like this, dude. I've been busy since, I haven't been working. I'm finally getting out of the house and going out and doing stuff and going on car rides, going hanging out with people. You know, I found out my work wasn't going to really approve me going away for 5 days. So, I mean, good thing that happened because I would have had one pissed off fiance and one pissed off work because I would have called off each day. Like, sorry, I'm already like 2.5 hours away. I'm not coming to work.
Right.
We're paying like $530, $600 for a hotel room from the 14th to the 9th to the 14th.
That's not too bad.
Nah, it's not bad at all. We check out the afternoon of the 14th at noon. I leave Wednesday. I leave Wednesday afternoon. I'm preaching on Thursday afternoon. I'm going to preach for a little bit. Because there's a lot of people on here, that do look forward, to me preaching, on Wednesdays or Thursdays whenever I get the chance. But I'm not actually doing like a show, like a sit down show. Like this is a planned curriculum, I guess.
Right.
And it's a good thing I'm getting back into all these things, dude, because when I was working at McDonald's, it really took away a lot of the things I loved.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, it was hard for me to do a show. I mean, like God, Teal, I only did one show in like a month, one show a month,
Yeah, approximately.
or one show a week, and I'm what used to doing 2 to 3.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I do 2 regular shows, and then we have our evening service. So it's been like I can finally let my brain relax, and I'm not having panic attacks when I know I gotta go to work the next day.
That
Dude,
always helps.
talk about the shithole that I worked in.
McDonald's are shitholes.
Not all of them though. I heard the one down the road in the bar. Actually, they do pretty well with their employees and everything.
That's surprising.
You know, and so it's like this. And like and it's like this. Like I did. I did a lot of. I did a lot of things. I didn't have much time to do anything. I mean, shit. Mine and my fiance's work schedule was so flip fucked that we were barely talking, which was hurting both of us. And now I'm trying to get off this night schedule for a fucking week. So when I'm with her, I can sleep at night. And actually relax.
Right.
So it's like this. It's pretty much my body is trying to relax. As I'm trying to relax. Like today, I have not been feeling good at all.
Right.
It's like I woke up not feeling good. I know it's not COVID. I woke up with a pounding headache. The back of my eyes hurt. I went and donated. I got sick there, and I'm just sitting there going like, and today is just, and it's probably because I donated. With no sleep, no food on my system, no nothing.
Hmm. That's not good.
And now my stomach hurts. My stomach was hurting. My chest up into my left arm was hurting, and I think I finally crashed about 1:30, 2 o'clock till 8 o'clock again. Like, and
Yeah.
I'm trying to get the fuck off this night schedule, man. But dude, it's so like once you get on a night schedule, it's so hard to flip it.
Yes. I've been
Like,
on night schedules for a long time, so I get it.
and it's like this, and I'm just like I'm tired, and like I'm just like I'm doing this through most of the day. If I try to stay up, I'm nodding
Mhm.
like this, and like my one friend I was hanging out with, like, you want to crash like on my bed? I went like, can I crash for like 2 hours? I crashed for 6.
Mhm.
He looked at me going like, dude, you retired. I'm like, how the fuck did you know? And he went like, you tried to snuggle up to my arm. I'm like, did you let me? He's going like, you had a seizure, so yes, I let you crawl up on me. He went like, I thought it was funny, and I'm just going like, well, I'm sorry.
Right.
And like I've been having seizures in my sleep, so it's like,
Mm.
my seizures are weird. I'm glad my best friend was right there. He was amazing at it, and I was just fucked. Let's see, 2 weeks ago I was in the ER. Like, seizures aren't going away. I missed my aunt's wedding. My aunt, well, now he's officially my uncle because he married my aunt. I missed her wedding today, and I'm just going like, fuck.
Right.
And see, that's why I texted you what I texted you on Thursday, going like, bro, help.
Oh, I get it.
Oh, that day I'm just going like, I need it. Like, help.
Where's Scarlett?
That's what I'm gonna call her real quick. Give me a minute. Because that's what I'm about to figure out. We're all about to hear her on the phone. Because she's going like, yeah, I was almost asleep, but I'm coming. I'm like, bro, I'm almost an hour into my show. Where are you?
Right.
I just texted her, bro, what the fuck? Watch her be asleep. Did not even come on. I'm going to go like, I hate you.
That's the problem.
I called her at 9 o'clock. Yeah, voicemail.
Is it ours? The phone.
I'm like, we're all waiting on you, homie. Like, what the fuck? Bro, this girl, dude, irritates me sometimes. She's like, oh, I'll be there. And where the fuck are you? I'm like, damn, TLO beat you again.
Yeah, I have been lately, haven't I?
You know what, man? We've all been busy, so that's part of the reason I haven't done a show. You worked an 80-hour week last week.
Yeah, approximately.
You know, I was dealing with stuff here at home and with my kid. You know, so like I had my son on Wednesday and I wasn't trying to stay up late, even though I slept all day. And for some god reason, my mom tried to wake me up. My son even tried to wake me up, dude, and I would just not wake up.
Yeah, that's when you know your body needs rest.
Like, dude, I would be up and my son was smacking me in the face with his truck. I looked at him and said, dude, stop. I tried playing with him, dude, and I fell asleep playing with him.
Right.
Like, you can tell by looking at me, I'm dead.
Oh yeah, you definitely look peaked.
Dude, it feels like I'm physically beat. Like, I'm just always tired. But that's because I'm getting way too much sleep. God damn it, Scarlett.
I've invited you all.
I'm texting her. I'm going to strangle you.
I have an announcement.
Watch
I'm
me
gonna
sharing
struggle
shit
you
on
through the
Facebook Live.
phone.
In honor of declaring myself patron, president.
Scarlet Anonymous, we summon you. Now, where the fuck are you?
Ha, summon.
I summer. Wow, that's how you know I really need to go to bed.
Right.
I summon your inner diary of a mad black woman ass. Now get the fuck in here. Not playing with you.
This afternoon, you will execute soon.
Ugh, I hate when she does this. See, this is why I love TLO. TLO's not late.
Well, I was, but I still made it.
You were late by like 30 seconds. I don't want to hear it.
Well, comparatively speaking, yeah, that's
Because you got on like 10 seconds after my counter was done. And my counter didn't go live until about 25 seconds. So it got down to 25 seconds left in the counter.
well, you know me, I'm not really doing much.
No, you're not. By the way, did you get anything new lately? Like, have you got new movies or anything?
I got a shit ton of new movies. I got a bunch of WrestleManias.
Nice.
Well, yeah, I started collecting wrestling pay-per-views. I used to with my friend because we used to watch them all the time. There's a nice little bar down here in the cities that would show them on a big projector and charge you like $5-6. You can come in and nosh on their little buffet and watch some wrestling, and yeah, it was good times.
I miss
But
wrestling, dude.
I basically have all the pay-per-views between 2000 and 2005.
Not bad, dude. I remember when SmackDown used to be on Fridays and Raw used to be on Monday.
It used to be on Monday and Tuesday. Now it's back to Fridays again.
Yeah, like I'm talking about like when it was originally before they changed it, like when my dad was
Yep.
alive. I remember like the one year, like this commercial always fucking scared the shit out of me. It was like talking about the Undertaker, but they were showing like Death Valley and everything, and like his hand coming up out of the fucking thing, dude. Like I was scared shitless. Like when that commercial came on, I turned my nightlight on.
It must have been for his casket match.
No, it wasn't for his casket matches. Like every other fucking commercial. Every time they went a commercial, it was a commercial about him. I went like, what the fuck? One of my favorite wrestlers too. You know, my favorite wrestling match, my favorite WrestleMania match was when Undertaker came back, Tombstone, John Cena, and then disappeared.
Yeah, that was
That was
WrestleMania 25 or 6, I do believe.
That was like 2 years ago.
Was it?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Because we got to remember the John Cena kept calling out the Undertaker, calling out the Undertaker, calling out the Undertaker. Bought a ticket to come watch WrestleMania, went in the ring, and next thing you heard is doom, doom.
Right.
And I'm going like,
the lights go out, and then he appears in the ring behind Cena, and yeah, no, I get it.
Yep. I was laughing, bro, and I'm sitting there like this because me and my boy Pat and my ex-fiance's father, we were all sitting there watching WrestleMania. Like, she was at work, her mom was at work, they worked at the same place, so they rode together and they were working late. We went out and got Italo's Pizza, which is a local pizza shop here, which is a family-owned pizza shop here in Ohio, in Stark County. It's across, I think it's across the board now. They've got so many restaurants opened up. But we went out and got 4 pizzas. We ate, 3 of us ate 2, 2.5. And we just started watching like the pregame matches, you know, the title matches and everything, you know, that they do throughout the day. You know, like the NXT matches, you know, what's the other one? NXT.
Well, I believe it's been pretty much the NXT is the only thing besides the Raw and the SmackDown brands. So
Right, you know, when we were watching the NXT matches come up, we watched I think that year they had the Women's Elimination Chamber.
oh yeah, that's right. The
That
first
year.
women's elimination chamber.
Yeah, that
So
year they
no,
had the first.
that had to have been a little while ago because the first elimination chamber, didn't that one have like Charlotte and Becky and Alexa Bliss?
Yeah, that happened, I think, during the WrestleMania events.
Yeah, because Alexa Bliss hasn't been wrestling for a while.
Yeah, that happened, I was about to say 2 years ago.
Yeah, had to have
Yeah.
been.
Yeah, I'm thinking of it right. Yeah, because it was the 2018 WrestleMania. Yeah, because that's when Julie was still working at Fisher's. And we watched that. We watched a couple more title matches come up. And then I believe we watched Randy Orton fuck somebody up. I'll tell you this, though. I went to a WWE, an actual live WWE event here in Cleveland and in Canton.
Yeah.
The one year me and my boy Pat went to the one in Canton, which would have been in 2018, 2017. It was either 2017 or 2018. Then me, Julie, Kendall, and my friend Mike went to, it's the same type of event in Cleveland. And the first match ever, the first match come out, you hear Jeff Hardy's theme song coming out. And then we seen that bitch boy Shinsuke Nakamura. Fucking ball tagging little bastard.
I tell you don't like Shinsuke Nakamura?
Nah, I hate him.
He's pretty entertaining, though.
He's entertaining. I just don't like the cheap shots he does.
Gotcha.
Like, I think it was always against Orton. No. Oh, we saw Orton and Rusev go at it. That was a fun match.
Yeah, the last time I was at a live WWE event, let's just say it was I Quit match between John Cena and John Bradshaw Layfield for the
Didn't
championship.
Layfield win that one?
No, he lost. He got his ass beat with the pieces of a semi truck that John Cena rode in on.
Yeah, because that is a no bars match.
Correct. And
Yeah,
yeah, it
because
was live in Minneapolis,
yeah,
I
the I
believe
quit match.
2006.
The I quit match was the no bars hold match. My favorite, you know, and speaking about WWE because it brings back so many memories. Is I remember watching the day that Undertaker finally lost his streak,
Oh yeah, I just got that WrestleMania on DVD.
and I think that was Triple H who beat him, or I was wrong.
You're wrong.
Was it
It's
Lesnar?
Brock. It was Lesnar.
That's who I was thinking it was. I was going like it was either Triple. I know Triple H beat him one year.
Once again, I was not.
I think recently in WrestleMania because he lost his streak and he was 21-1, and then the next year I don't think he participated in WrestleMania, but then he came back the next following year. And
Yeah,
I
because the one
think he
year he
won
was
that one.
supposed to participate, he had a heart attack in the ring.
Right. Yeah, and they couldn't perform or whatever. So, but yeah, no, he's been around for a very long time.
You know, and I didn't know that fucker actually owns a tattoo parlor.
Oh yeah.
I didn't know that. I didn't even know Kane was the fucking mayor of a city in Tennessee.
Yes.
I'm going like, when the fuck did superstars get into politics? I thought that was the one thing they stayed away from.
And John Bradshaw Layfield is one of the richest men in America.
It
Good
looks like
friends with Mr. Kraft, I do believe.
I just told her
Owns
I'm
the
gonna.
Patriots.
I just told her I'm gonna strangle you, and she looked at it and hasn't replied.
Yep. Oh, Scarlett.
That's the old. Hey, it's the normal Scarlet. She's late, but when she gets in, she's on fire though.
Couldn't let you go without a proper goodbye.
She'll probably
But
pop
yeah,
in here in about 5 minutes, going like, "Will you stop talking fucking shit?"
let's see what other movies did I get. I got Castle in the Sky.
Never heard of that.
Oh, it's a beautiful Japanese anime. Miyazaki, famous for
No, that's
Spirited Away, Howl's Moving Castle. But this one was one from way back in the 80s. It's a beautiful one. It originally was called Laputa. It's about this city in the sky. It's a weird, like, it's kind of like a weird post-apocalyptic sort of thing. So, like, mankind had developed, like, powers and harnessed wind power. And so they were able to build cities in the sky that float and, go along, like, kind of like Zeppelins and shit. And so, like, this calamity comes along and knocks people out of the sky, and so they decide to just stick it out on Earth. But there's still people that are looking for Laputa, which is like this super kingdom in the sky. It's a really cool thing, a good, young person adventure sort of story, done well. Really good voice actors, Anna Paquin, Mark Hamill as the villain, and can't go wrong with Mark Hamill. Um, let's see who else was in it. God, what was that? What was that douche's name? God, he was so popular for that stupid show. God, what was that?
um. I think I know what you're talking about.
Well, yeah, he was super popular back in the '90s. It's that show with Pacey or whatever.
Oh, I know what show you're talking about. Oh,
And you know what actor I'm talking about too, the blonde one.
Yeah, I can't fucking think of it.
Yeah, I can't think of his name either, but he's the voice, he's the main character voice actor in that one. Let's see, what else did I get? I got Bumblebee. I've
Good
got
fucking movie. I watched that. That's a good fucking
that
movie.
is, I think it's a very underrated movie. I found it was a lot better of a Transformers movie than the original Michael Bay Transformer movies. It had a
The
lot more heart. The
the
Transformers were more like Transformers were supposed to be.
the
Um, they had a
the
lot of great nods too, a lot of Easter eggs and a lot of great nods.
the way they played that off, the way they played the beginning off, I was surprised to see Don Cena's ass in the fucking movie.
Oh yeah,
I was so shocked. And I'm sitting there and like, when his voice box was ripped out, I'm going like, so that's why the fucker can't talk.
correct. Yep. No, they
Hey,
did.
look,
They.
speaking of the fucking devil,
I thought you scared her away.
I thought I did too. Now she's loading.
Hello, Dwayne.
Right.
I'm gonna strangle the shit out of you.
No.
Almost fall asleep on my ass.
You said 11:30, 12. Your time.
And that's 12. I meant your time, not my time, because I didn't know when you were gonna be done with
Okay,
the
but you
kids.
still didn't like hit me up till like 1 o'clock.
I called you at 12:20 your time,
You've been on in the air for an hour and 12 minutes.
and I started
And it's 2 o'clock. And so that means you started at 1 o'clock.
No, it's 2:53. So I would have started about 1:30.
You've been on the air 1 hour and 12 minutes, Dwayne.
And I'm going to tell you what times I called you. Hold on. Watch this. I called you at 2:36, 1:28, 1:26, 1:23, which would have been 12:23 your time.
No.
Your phone ain't getting phone calls then because I've had that same issue.
What, phone calls not getting through? I have
Yeah,
it too.
like I tried calling my sponsor the other day and he said he's not getting any of my phone calls. I would call my mom. My mom says I'm not getting any of her phone calls. I try to call my fiance. My fiance ain't getting any of my phone calls. I'm going, what the fuck?
Dwayne's just ignoring everybody else. Don't listen to Dwayne.
Okay, ignoring, but I didn't hear from your ass for how long?
I'm moving, Dwayne.
That still doesn't mean you can't say, hey, what's up for a quick minute.
Do you understand what moving's like?
Yes, I do. I've done it 4
Not all
times in
your
a year.
belongings. Not fucking 10 years of belongings that you've acquired as an adult. No.
Not 10 years, but I know what moving is like and having to fucking clean up a house, pack it up,
No,
move it,
bruh.
make
It's
10 trips.
no.
When
We
I
have to
first
take
moved out,
2.
I only took 5 trips with my mom's car.
Well, we have to drive 2 hours away. First of
Exactly.
Yeah,
all.
I
You do
didn't
have
have
to
that
drive.
problem. All of my moves were under an hour.
Right. I have to move 2 hours away.
But I know what it's like having to pack up a lot of your shit. I packed up 2 years worth of stuff here at my mom's.
Okay, but I mean, still feel like you don't
Hey, Scar,
understand.
change your profile picture.
I can't. I can't until I'd have to back up. It did not give me an option.
Oh, she's down like you're TLO. That doesn't make sense. Come back. You can tell she's in her pajamas too, TLO. So you know she was about ready to go to bed.
Does that make you happy, Dwayne?
Probably.
There you are.
Does that make you happy?
It confuses me.
I'm in my pajamas.
Hey,
Right?
I'm in my hoodie and my sweatpants, dude. Scarlett, can you tell I look like shit?
Do you really want me to answer that question?
Go ahead, dude, because Tilo's already said it. It's
I
just a
mean,
nicer way.
Yes.
I mean, you look rough, bruh.
Dude, donating today fucked me up, dude. Like, it fucked me up.
Hold
Got
on,
to
let
be
me get
careful
my.
doing that shit.
Yeah,
Dude, I need
fuck
to
everybody.
make money, dude, because so I can pay these
I
people
get that, but
to go see Kenzie because I'm driving 2 hours away to go get her, then a half hour away from her house. So it's like a 5 hour drive for them there and back.
that's what I be saying, Dwayne. I don't know, dude. Gotta figure it out.
Hey, we're doing good. Hey, you know what? We're doing good. We're actually pushing along pretty strong.
I'm not
Like,
saying that. I'm talking about the money situation.
bro, when I come back, I'm gonna have me another job. I know that. I can't go without working.
Dude, have you put any applications in?
I'm not putting me and my mom talked about that. I'm not putting any applications in until I'm down there. So when it's time for me to like come back, I should have an interview lined up. I'm not trying to get hit with an interview while I'm down there and I can't make it to a job interview. Because then it looks bad on my end for even trying to put the application in, knowing I'm 2 hours away from wherever I'm supposed to be at.
Right.
That is a fair point.
You know, so Kenzie's gonna help me put in some applications, help me build my resume up. You know, because she knows how to build a resume. I learned how to do it, but
There's
with
so
all
many
my
websites
seizures,
now that can even plug and play now. It's not even hard.
yeah, and she's gonna teach me how to do them in case I have to update my resume or
Yeah, there's so many
update my resume.
companies and applications now you can download and all types of
Right.
Well,
shit.
I'm about to be juggling being a father, working, and starting school again next month because University has finally
Do one thing
realized.
at a time. No, I think you should just do one thing at a time and keep a damn job or go to school. Because if you go to school, you can get student loans to live off of. Okay, if you have a job, you're gonna make money to live off of. But you got to pick one. I don't think both works right now. At least not till you get the job stable, and then maybe you start next year in January for the spring semester. And I think give yourself some good time to get a job and get that shit solid
Well,
first.
my loophole with the schooling situation is since I was in foster care to the age of 18,
Right?
there are schools out there that will do my ride for free because I was a
Well, then
foster
you
youth
need
till
to
18.
well then you need to go take that and not get a job right now and live off the student loans. Cuz they give you money for housing and to live out of your
I'm,
student loans, Dwayne.
and that's what
Yes.
I'm
That's the
looking at.
point of student loans.
I
No,
know.
that is the point of student loans is to pay your rent, buy food, buy books. That's what you get the money for. So
Well, and
just I feel you should choose one. With your seizures being as bad as they are,
bro,
I
I don't
feel
even
you
want
need
to
to
talk about.
choose one.
I don't even
You
want
need
to
to choose
talk
one
about
right
my
now.
seizures,
And
dude.
then we can revisit it in January. So if school is what you want to do, go through a school, get you some student loans, go live off that. Be smart about it. Don't take up more than you need, but figure out how much it costs to live every month and make sure you pull that for your student loan.
Well,
It's simple.
I was gonna go back online like I was doing because it's easier for
And
me
it,
to be.
even online, get a better college online that would still grant you the loans.
I'm looking
Go
at
to an
Kent.
accredited school.
I'm looking at Kent State and everything right now because Kent State was
Yeah,
talking.
look into something though. Seriously.
I'm looking down at Marietta College right now because they got some pretty good programs out there for who are dads work and they work around with your work
Right.
schedule and everything. So,
I don't think you should do both right now, Dwayne. I think you should
well,
try to get one thing stable.
I'm thinking about going to school and like working like part time at the college.
Maybe a college job. Yeah, that would be
Yeah,
good.
like
Maybe you could
part
work
time
in
at
food service,
like
be the cook or something, do something like
yeah,
that. That would be
yeah, like
good.
at the
Something
college. So I'm
janitor
just like I'm look
job or something. But I think that's your best route. I think if you go one way, you just need to pick one for right
I'm gonna
now.
work.
Revisit it later on, but
I'm gonna
take
work
one route
right
now.
now because I need a job. I need something to keep me busy.
But if you're starting school, then you'll get the loans because the semester literally just started.
Well, I don't know because I got to go through what they call a re-entry exam,
Okay.
and I have to, and
You
then
can go to a
they
different school too. You don't have to go through this school either.
no, and I'm probably going to work for right now because when I get my car and stuff next year and I get my seizures back under control, my goal is to go back into the medical field.
Then go back to school then. But
Yeah,
do one
go
thing to
back to
get yourself stable because medically, I just don't think you personally can handle both right
girl.
now.
I'm waking up from seizures in my sleep.
Which is why you can't hold a job and go to school. Like that's just it's going to fizz you out. Is the best
Like
way I can
when I
explain that.
had
Yeah,
Dean, dude,
you're already kind of burnt, so you got to be careful.
bro, all these
Yep.
meetings with these churches are it's honestly what's burning me out.
Well, that's what it takes to run a business, Dwayne, or be a business person. So if you can't handle that, then it's time to step out of the game.
No, it's not. I can't handle it. It's like I come home like spiritually and mentally dead.
You got to start protecting yourself from letting these people drain you then. Because you're not putting up blocks when you're meeting people and you're letting them literally take all your energy from you from the interaction. And you can't do that.
Bro, that's why my pastor said these next couple meetings because he's seeing how I am after these meetings. And my pastor said, we're having our meetings at the church, and both of my pastors are going to be there in case I need to step away for a minute. That way they can handle like the
You're
rougher
just gonna have
questions.
to like realize, Dwayne, like what makes you so overwhelmed about sitting through a meeting talking about something?
Well, it's not that, is I'm getting hammered. Well, this is what's happening right now. I'm getting hammered because of what the revival is about.
Okay, but you should have known that it was going to be controversial, period. And you'd have to
And
stand up
I
for your conviction.
and I am. But it's just
You
like when
can't let
these
that shit get to
pastors
you. You can't. No, you
when
can't even let that shit get to you.
when these pastors are at my neck, like they're at
Guess
my
who's
like,
more important? Guess who's more important? God. So who cares what these men say?
and
If
that's
you
what I
believe in your idea, you shouldn't let them bother you like that, Dwayne.
it puts a damper on it because like there's like four of us in these meetings. It's me, the girl I'm doing it with, and the two pastors that we're using their church for.
Right.
So there's four of us in there. And like every time I go to say something, these other pastors shut me up. And I finally told the one pastor, like, look, if you're gonna interrupt me or shut me down every time I try to talk, you can get up and leave this table, and I won't even ask your church to be here because I'm not putting up with this when the day of it comes.
Right. Well, then if that's the case, then you need to evaluate business ties. And if it's not a good fit, then you need to find someone else.
And that's
Like,
what
don't tolerate bullshit either. But, don't get overwhelmed about it, Dwayne. It's just, this is how life works. You're going to have complicated problems that just drain the shit out of you. And you're just going to have to start to learn that this is just kind of how it is. But you can't wear it on your sleeve. You can't take it with you. You got
right.
to
And
leave that shit.
and then another thing that's really draining me today is that fucking video, dude. Oh my god.
Right? And you can't let shit like that bother you either. I mean, shit like that is going on every day in the
Yep.
world. It's just
Bro,
not
but I
televised.
haven't seen nothing like that since I got out of the medical field.
Well, and
Like,
I understand
and
that, but
it was quick, and I'm just sitting there going like this, going like,
well, like I said earlier, psychological trauma, if people don't know what we're talking about, there's a video circulating on TikTok, on Facebook, on YouTube. It's everywhere. It's on all the
I
platforms
said
at
it at
this
the
point.
beginning of the show.
And okay, I'm just recapping. There might be new viewers at this point. Or for people tuning in later who, skipped ahead in the broadcast. I don't know.
Yeah,
Um,
don't search for this
there
video, please don't.
there is when you watch videos that have, extreme forms of violence or trauma that are real, right? Not like TV. Even TV can have a minimum impact. But these actual real videos, they can cause psychological trauma and damage for years down the line after watching them. That's a natural human reaction to seeing something like that. Um, it's not something to be ashamed of, but it's also something that we shouldn't become desensitized to, but we can't let it, take over our thoughts. And
You know what? And this is becoming a new normal for people to do it on social media because it takes away the pain of having to write a suicide letter.
no, I think what it really boils down to, and this isn't like a rude remark, this is just a observation. I think it's because when people are that depressed, right, they just want to be heard, right, and they feel like no one cares. And by doing it on a live video, they're going to know that people will actually care and think about them. And I think that's the comforting part about it for people.
There's that because I can use this for instance. Last year when my buddy did it, God, I'm gonna go almost a year back in November, right around when me and Scarlett. Me and Scarlett were talking when this actually happened. My buddy shot himself on Facebook Live last year. I didn't see the remnants of it. I didn't see him do it, but I got on the live video where he was just laying there, and he wrote like his note on Facebook, and then did it on live. Like he made a post about it. Like I still have the post on my phone.
Right.
Like that's how far back like this was. And let me go even see when it was because I got oh, TLO's phone probably died.
Aw, Tilo.
Hold on, because I have it on my phone. I gotta find it.
Yeah, yeah, MGTOW. I remember watching that video. I remember watching a beheading video that was super fucked up. This was, deep into the Iraq war. Um, when they were, starting to infiltrate Syria and kind of the areas around them. And then most recently, since I've done radio and video, there was a video from South Africa where these black men literally like macheted to death this woman, and it was the most fucked up video I've ever seen in my life. Like this woman was so scared, and they just start chopping her ass up, and then they chop her head off, and it was just fucked. Like it was fucked. That was real. What
My
up,
buddy,
Tilo?
my buddy passed away unexpectedly November 12th of 2019. And when that happened, his cousin actually called me the night of because I was trying to get a hold of family members. Because I called my mom that night, going like, "What the fuck?"
Right.
And he did it on Facebook Live, and going from a psychological value, from knowing I've been in this place before, being in this place that where I'm ready to go and I'm ready to die. If social media was around back then, that's probably the way I would have done it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, because and a part of it does take the pain away of
And a part
having,
of it knows that it's going to go viral and people are going to see it. And they're going to see and feel your pain, which is all you've ever wanted for most people who are super depressed.
yep, and there's nothing we can do at
But
that.
the sad part is that so many people would have been there for this man,
Dude,
whether they knew him or not.
I was on there, my team was on there, people from TikTok was on there. Like, I poured my heart out, dude. Like, I poured my heart out to this dude. Like, look, I get it. I've been where you're at. I know how it feels to just want to be gone. But I told him, like, you got to think about the pain. And the one thing I've learned over the 4 years of doing this, when I started my suicide prevention page on Facebook, which I'll post a link up here soon, for people at the end of the video. If you're going through shit, please don't hesitate to join it. There's no requirements or anything. We don't ask questions or anything. You need to join, post, you post. we help you. But anyways, like I was saying, is, it's like, I didn't know until last night that he died. I didn't go through the rest of the live video. I kind of left because I knew I was mentally done and I was irritated with this dude, and I knew that
How long did this video last?
everyone's saying it lasted 3.5 hours, and the last 6 minutes is when he blew his head off.
Oh, right.
To give everybody a heads up in a description, if you see a white man, long-haired, and an orange beard sitting at a desk with a phone up on a tripod and him on his phone, scroll away. Please, I am begging you, do not watch it. It fucked with me for hours. Don't watch it.
I mean, it's up to everybody what they choose to do, but just know that there could be psychological trauma from watching the video. But
Psychological
not
trauma.
everyone's affected that way.
Psychological trauma. There's signs of that as you're feeling depressed. Now you just want to do it and just fucking not just deal with what you've seen. Because trust me, I saw that and them thoughts started going through my head.
I'm sorry, Dwayne. Like, I don't know. I guess I live in a pessimistic worldview where I feel like we'll see worse shit than that. So
Oh,
I
I've
don't want to be
seen
offended
seen
yet
worse shit than that,
until it's
but
time.
to actually see
No, but I'm just
someone,
saying, like, you get what I'm saying, TLO. Like, it's gonna take some shit.
Yes.
Right.
but it happened so quick. Like, in the bad thing, and I feel so bad. His mother, his mama, watched her boy blow his head off. Like, that right there alone breaks me. His mama. Guys, a lot of people pick at people because a lot of people don't believe mental health is real. Let me tell you something. I'm a victim of fucking mental health. It sucks. It
Millions of
fucking.
people have mental health issues, Dwayne. You're not alone.
No, I know I'm not, but I'm saying for the people out there that don't believe in it, it's a battle. My bed is right here. It is
But
a
it's also
battle.
a battle that you can overcome, too, Dwayne.
Right, and I have overcome it, but there's days my depression kicks in, and it's hard for me to get up out of my bed. Like, I have to fight with myself to get up, or I have to fight with myself to eat. I have to fight with myself to go take a shower. It's certain things. It's a battle in our mind that people don't see. We may look happy on the outside, and Scarlett kind of learned this about me too when we first started talking. Oh my God, Scarlett, it's almost been a year. Holy shit! Since we started talking.
I know, Dwayne.
Is and then as we may look happy on the outside, and as we look happy on the outside, we're fighting a battle on the inside that nobody will see.
I mean, they can see it if you let them.
Yeah, but most of us that deal with mental health kind of keep our guard up because it's something where I was ashamed of it. I was ashamed of it for years. You can ask Scarlett. The one night I called her literally at 5 o'clock in the morning and said I was fucking done. I was done. He had to threaten to come down here and beat the shit out of me. After hearing a huge argument between me and my ex, getting a fucking pan thrown at me. He told Scarlett I'm ready to die, and she went like, "You need to shut the fuck up. Stop."
Yeah, I think that's exactly what I said. I was like, you need to think about what's more important in life and what you're really here for instead of letting, other people make you feel like it's time to be done.
Right.
You're more important than that.
Right, and this is part of the reason my show got started, early this year. As a way for me to cope. And I love coming on here with you guys because all of y'all are like family to me. Like Migto, Pam, Bonnie, even that one dude that fucking likes me for some reason.
Troll guy.
Troll guy. It's, have you ever had a man is who he is. I had to think of his name for a minute. You know, like
I told you he loves you.
I love all my trolls, even though that sounds weird. You know, but that's the blessing of me having mental health. I have a big heart, and my big heart and helping other people helps me survive on a day to day. You know, like when my fiance has like an anxiety attack or her depression hits, you know, or go back to a very old fucking instance when all this shit happened on my mom's fucking birthday. And Scarlett's kid's birthday, which is the funny thing that they both share the same birthday.
That is funny.
You know, and getting a phone call from Scarlett,
And me and his baby mama have the same birthday too.
which is some bullshit.
It is some bullshit.
You know, or getting a phone call from Scarlett going like,
Only cool people are allowed to be born on that day.
you know,
I assume all people who are born on that day are cool.
you know, and like getting a phone call from Scarlett and her just saying, I just need someone to listen and someone to talk to, and then turn around and I get accused of doing heroin, and then a week and a half later, fucking I get accused of being drunk on my show when all the evidence and the facts is I'm getting ready to have a seizure.
Yep.
You know, and I'll admit I did have a mic card that night, but everybody knew TLO and knew it was fucking diluted with fucking Mountain Dew. They watched me do it.
Right.
Yeah, everybody watched you do it, and it was in one Mike's Hard Lemonade. And
It was probably half the
we've
fucking bottle I dumped out to mix.
Yeah, and everyone knows that we don't mind occasional cocktails on this network.
God, we're supposed
I would
to have
never
a cocktail
condone
show.
someone. Yeah, we're supposed to have a cocktail show. Eventually, hopefully, that will happen. But I'm not going to. I wouldn't condone someone being like straight out full tilt drunk. But having a cocktail on air, that's not the end of the world.
No.
TLO drinks a
You know.
glass of wine every night when he's home.
I mean, I just think it's these Puritan people who, I don't know, are just try to find anything to be offended about, you know.
There is that.
There is. And so what can you do? If it wouldn't have been that, it would have been something else. You know. That's just kind of how I feel it was. It was people always want to try to find a way to pick apart a situation to justify their end means. So, you know.
Right, you know, and it's like this, you know, is like, you know, and I want to kind of give an explanation to people why I haven't been on here. I ended up in the ER on Thursday. Unfortunately, my son was here, but thank God he was upstairs asleep. I had to be escorted out of my house by SWAT. That's how bad my seizures are getting. It's not because I don't love y'all. It's Dwayne's probably recovering from a seizure.
Right.
You and I can laugh about this because it's happened so much throughout the fucking year.
I know, right?
You know, it's like everyone goes like, "Where'd Dwayne go? He's been on a 2-week hiatus." Oh, there he is. It happens at least once a month, Scarlett. I swear to God.
It does. I mean, sometimes things happen. I mean, we try to do the best we can. And eventually my programming ability will be better.
We gotta get you a computer.
We do have to get me a computer.
Go to the speaking of that, if you guys want to donate, go to freedomrevolutionnetwork.com and click the donate button. There's not just shows like the Night Talk. We have Clarity After Dark and Scarlet Anonymous. We have Journey into Freedom with Red, the original Red Pill Show, wherever the fuck Tim's at.
I've been talking to Tim. Who said he was going to restart the show? We go through this with Tim. And he's like he's like one of them visionary types or like an artist, you know, where like he comes and does his thing and then leaves and then comes and does his thing.
Yeah.
We have Liberty Librarian. I did hear from Elle in the group chat. She does plan on being back with Down the Rabbit Hole with Elle.
Oh, wonderful.
I think she said that in the group chat. Yeah, I think she did say that. Yeah, I was the night that I was talking about football. We have 2 new shows coming up, and I don't know if Scarlett has said anything about. Yeah, we've said it a couple times. I just don't know when they're starting.
Yeah, I haven't really heard back from anybody so far. So it's like I reached out to them to say, hey, Mel's ready. Because I told them I was like, I'm gonna have to put your training on hiatus until we can get Mel and me situated. And then I haven't really kind of heard back, and so I'll reach out again, and hopefully then we'll get some. I mean, because I feel bad. One of the gals paid already, and it's like, but I can't get a hold of her.
Right, and then if you guys want to tribute to a show, only thing you guys got to do is type in the tribute button and what show it goes to. It either goes to us or most of us make a decision to put it back. Put it back into the network. Like me, when people have donated, I've had to take
Most
it
of the money,
because
yeah. We only take 25% of everybody's donation, so the host gets 75%. And if they choose to put it back into the network,
right.
just for operating costs, then that's what we do. That's why we ask everybody to also pay a small fee. So when you donate to the host, it could even just help their monthly host fee. And
Yep.
so we all just take the host fee, put all our host fees together, and then pay for things like the server, pay for things like the software, pay for things like the website and the domain and all of those things. And so we're not operating above and beyond our means or trying to create anything. We just want to create solid systems that people can look forward to. With Facebook changing their terms of service October 1st, they're basically saying they can kick off or delete anybody's account for any reason at any time.
And if you guys donate $50 or more,
which is why people should join the social media network,
right? And if you guys donate
because
fifty
it is
dollars or
censorship
more,
free.
you guys get a free T-shirt. Speaking of that, TLO, we still got to get you a fucking T-shirt.
No, you haven't.
Word. We gotta talk to
Oh,
Mel
you
about
already
that.
got yours?
No.
Oh, yeah. I gotta get a hold of Mel. Mel.
Yeah, talk to Mel about it.
Yeah. Speaking of that, you guys donate $50 or more, you guys get a free Freedom Revolution Network T-shirt.
Everybody except TLO has gotten their T-shirt or didn't want theirs. So, with that being said,
We gotta
we will
get
get you.
TLO a shirt.
Yes.
And guys, like once I get things more settled out and I get back into work and everything, my shows will be more stable. They might not be as long as they used to be, but they'll be stable. And the one thing I love about the Freedom Revolution Network is that we're a bunch of people that love the fucking Constitution. We're a free network. We're a free speech network. We do still believe in the First Amendment of having the right to say the shit we want to say. Now, to sometimes the StreamYard doesn't like what the fuck we're saying. Yeah, you seen it last fucking 2 Wednesdays ago when me and Scarlett got cut off. How many times during Hurricane?
A bunch. Too many.
We got cut off on Zoom. How many times during COVID?
Lots of times.
So it's like this, like social media may not like what we say, but we do.
True.
TLO has said some pretty hard shit. God, when the whole fucking me and Scarlett were domestic terrorists.
Right.
I gotta bring that up. We were terrorists. Huh? What? Looking on that now.
Everybody's opinion is different.
So, my buddy Mike's on here. So my buddy Mike said, so I need to donate $100 because I wear a larger shirt. No, it's $50 or more, and you get the size of the shirt you wear.
Yep.
I
believe we have sizes up to like at least 3 or 4X. I think we can go bigger. Don't quote me on that though.
I don't know. I gotta get a hold of Mel for a couple shirts because I know a couple people have donated $50 or more. I know TLO's one. I think Bonnie's one. Pam's one.
Bonnie said she didn't want hers.
Oh, Bonnie? Oh,
Yeah, a few people have donated a bunch of times and have not wanted theirs.
Shit, when I donate $50 or more, I want my fucking T-shirt so I can wear it in the community.
Right, absolutely. We also have other swag items as well. I mean, we have, like mugs, and I do believe there's a sticker option as well.
I think we do have masks up finally on the store. I think Mel did say she finally got her masks up.
Yeah, there's a gator style mask, so you could use them as a buff for outdoor activities if you don't want to use them as a mask, or use them as a face covering if you have to.
Yeah, because
But
they're the
there's
elastic
options.
ones. She said, Mike's in high school. Are you ready to help us get to New York? Speaking of that, Scarlett, we're making a trip to New York City in March.
Okay.
We're
Yeah,
all
let's do it.
we're gonna go up and stay for I think like a week. We're all gonna file our tax at the same time and use our income taxes to pay for it.
Why would you go to New York?
Because none of us have been there. None
There's
of us
like
have.
a quarantine, like where they don't you have to quarantine for 2 weeks and shit.
CDC actually came out and said that the 2-week
New York
quarantine.
has their own rules.
Yep.
Oh, we'll see if it's lifted by then. If not, I'm not going.
Yeah, I doubt that, honestly. I don't feel like any of these restrictions are going to be lifted. I feel like there was a commercial here in Minnesota that was literally like, no, then I'm not helping you. Not helping you. I'm trying to give you a good experience on the East Coast. And you are trying to deny yourself a good experience with delicious gas station food. And it's not just your average gas station food. It's next level.
Yes, we will stop at Wawa's.
Like, you guys are missing out. I'm not the one who's going to be missing out.
Bro, I was really looking forward to Wawa's. Now, don't judge me.
I'm just saying, they got a bunch of good shit there.
Ooh, and I want to show you this new tea I'm getting ready to try. It's
Ooh.
called Wellness Tivana Craft Iced Tea. It's watermelon basil with an oolong tea.
I probably had that before. I used to work in the mall.
I'm gonna taste it.
I worked like 4 doors down from Tivana. And so I was friends with all the Tivana people.
It
And
smells
so
good.
I drank so much fucking tea all the time.
It smells
I
good. I
love
mean,
Tivana.
it got like it got like a little orange hint. Let's taste it. It's watermelon basil oolong tea.
I'm sad that they stopped Tivana because that was like a lush experience.
Bro,
You would
that's
go in
not bad.
there.
It got a bitter taste to it.
You would go in there and they would have sample tea, and then you could order drinks from any tea on the menu. And then
I don't like that one. Ooh, that basil is way
so
too.
you could try the tea. You know what I mean? So you could just like try a cup of it before you bought it, because some teas were very expensive. But I
Bro,
loved going to Tivana.
the basil in this watermelon one is way too strong.
See, I
Yeah,
probably would
I'm
like
not
that. I like
big on the
herbal. You got to
watermelon.
get used to
Basil.
herbally flavors before you start like diving into that. But I like herbally flavors. Like I drink like kombucha. I drink like like hibiscus tea. I drink like lavender tea or violet drinks, or I drink a lot of botanical items, so that where watermelon basil would not be like the weirdest combination I've had.
It is for me. I've never had the watermelon basil one, but it's made with a pure American honey, and I can taste the honey in it. It's sweet. It's just that basil taste.
And it sounds good.
I mean, it tastes good. It's that basil. Like holy, like you drink it and that basil like
Yeah, like
smacks
I
you in
said,
the
it's the
face.
herbal flavor that you got to get used to.
But I do want to say this, and another thing me and TLO were talking about is the CDC trying to keep our kids at school overnight.
Yeah, absolutely not.
Can we talk about can we talk about this for a minute?
Yeah, we can.
Can we talk about this for a
Because
minute? Because here's my thing.
most schools here are going to be starting tomorrow.
Yep.
And most schools aren't even doing an in-person model.
Like
Most
here's
schools are doing distance learning.
Yeah, most are doing
like
distance and some are doing hybrid.
right, like here's my
Yeah,
thing.
some are doing like some days the kids are going if they have like a certain last name or whatever.
Right.
And then other ones are going, the other days, and then some parents decided for their kids to just stay at home and do distance. And then there are some schools like up here, my school district is going in person.
Ours did. You had the option here to do e-learning or in school. But here's my thing: if I ever send my kid to school, I expect my son home on the bus every night. Or me as a father, you really don't want to fuck with me. A couple people have learned what the wrath of me as a
Well, get
father
ready
is.
because these buses play games with your kids. Like I can't tell you how many times like kids have been late. There was one time my kid was an hour and a half late, and I almost lost my shit.
Right.
Okay, and another
I was
thing I
like,
want to
I'm
talk
about to
about,
call the police. You have fucking GPS on this bus. Where the fuck is my kid?
right?
Right.
Another thing I want to talk about: who the fuck is dumb enough to fucking light their step in a fire after a Molotov and fucking try to dance around?
An idiot.
I don't think he was trying to dance around. I think he was literally trying to put out the fire
Yeah.
because he
He was
stepped in the
dead because he
Molotov
was on
cocktail.
fire.
Like,
Mm-hmm.
dumbass, you see. Here's my thing: if you're gonna be at a protest, stop using Molotovs.
No, just watch where the hell you're at. Situational awareness.
Or like, watch this. Everything was peaceful in DC, right? So a
Mm-hmm.
lot of my friends went up there. You know, a lot of the Ohio Community Coalition went up there for the march in DC for the 57th anniversary of Martin Luther King Jr.'s I Had a Dream speech.
Mm-hmm.
They were out there the second night. The police were surrounding them. This dumb fuck, and we caught this fucker on camera, tries to start a riot and starts burning a trash can.
You always have one in a crowd.
Like,
Yes.
bro, like 6 of our people tackled him and fed him to the police. Like, have him. Which
Well,
I was surprised about, but we got the fire put out, and I'm going like, it's always that one person that ruins it for the bunch.
yeah.
Like, it's that one person. It's that one fucking
That's how
person.
most laws are even passed to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? And I'm going to tell this to people. Like, look, the reason I stopped marching is because there's always one person that fucking ruined it.
Yeah.
I'm tired of getting hit for people. I've got ran over twice. Twice. And a gun
I
pulled
feel
out
like
on me.
here's the deal. I feel like we should all be able to have our own opinions, but at the same time, we shouldn't all be punished for others' actions.
Right, like, and I'll explain this situation. We're marching in North Canton. We go up the
Like,
road.
here's my deal. No, hold on. I want to say something real quick about like Minneapolis because like last week when they were rioting and tearing up the downtown Target,
Again.
police came out quick as fuck and came in out in force. I mean, they were searching motherfuckers' IDs. I mean, it was complete martial law. Why did it take that long to react?
Right. See? Right. Like, that's the fucking thing.
Why couldn't you just have called out the bad actors from day one?
Right,
Why
I'm
do
gonna
we
point
all have to suffer for assholes' actions?
right, and I'm gonna point out a similar situation. Is like when we were marching North Canton, this dude tried to hit us. And I can't believe this woman actually fucking hit her, reached in the fucking car and smacked the shit out the dude, which resulted in 6 of us having a gun pointed in our face.
Wow.
Like, I'm sorry, are you trying to fucking get us killed? And then watch how the police reacted. They ran but didn't have their guns out. They didn't handcuff them. They walked into the police station and no handcuffs.
Well, and that's because of certain stereotypes of protesters or whatever you want to call it. Protests work if there is a actual objective or go.
Mm-hmm.
When they're random, it's just chaos. Like, if they wanted to sit somewhere, like let's say in front of the legislature, city council's house, or get them to pass some certain bill or pass something that would help the situation, I would feel better about it than random chaos. Because this random chaos leads to misinterpretation.
Right, and everyone
People
goes
are
like,
going to feel in certain
right,
ways.
and everyone goes like, well, Minneapolis burned down their city. We have the right to burn down ours. How the fuck we don't? They had every goddamn reason to fucking burn down their city.
Yeah, see, I feel like, and that brings it back to where I feel like, I told Red this the other day. The problem is that the Minneapolis situation was a very unique situation to our local
Hey,
community.
Scar.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit, Dwayne. Hey, Dwayne. Hi, bud. Hey, Dwayne. Hey, bud. Hold on. Dwayne's having a seizure, everybody. Dwayne. Dwayne. Hey, bud. Dwayne. Hey, bud. Come back to us. You're okay. You're okay. You're okay.
Ooh,
Hi, Dwayne.
hi. Give me a minute.
I got you. You're good.
Give me a minute.
I will give you a
Oh,
minute. So, like I was saying, I felt like it was a very unique situation, of which wasn't for national stage level, because people were going to be right fighting. I mean, protests erupted all over the world.
Correct.
And yet I understand these things happen all over the world. But I don't think that they happen quite the way they happen here. I think it was a combination of many different situations that led up to this.
Yes.
And that's just the way I kind of feel about it. So, for people to use that as, oh, well, Minneapolis did it. But I feel people here had more of a reason to do the things they did. Now, yes, people came from far and wide to just create destruction and chaos. But, at the same time, too, I get where people are coming from. You're young, you're dumb, you've been locked in for months, you have nothing else to do. It
you,
sounded like a good idea at the time.
and
Right.
like when Minneapolis burned their city down, like and I started covering this day one of the protests. Day one. People were peaceful. You everyone chanting, peaceful protest. Minneapolis. What did the fucking police officers start doing? Being douchebags. I mean, God, TLO, if I recall it, what, they shot a fucking 12-year-old?
Yes. They were just randomly shooting into the crowd, but yes, they hit a 12-year-old.
And what, Scarlett, the night you went down there, they weren't doing a goddamn fucking thing?
Nope.
Well, at that point,
Not till after we left.
yeah, at that point they were a little apprehensive. Let's just say.
Mm-hmm.
And then night number 3, they burned down they attempted to burn down the precinct.
Right, they tried.
Yeah, they tried. It wasn't until like the
I mean,
fourth
they
or
should
fifth
have
night.
known it was like a fortress, though.
Yes, it is.
But here's my thing. Everybody can't be Minneapolis. We all still need to live. Where everybody was protesting was exactly where this man was killed.
Right.
Right.
And why were they at the 3rd precinct? Because they wanted to fucking do Ted, all 4 of their heads on a fucking platter. And guess what? They weren't arrested until after the protests.
They
But
weren't.
yeah, last week, they arrested 150 motherfuckers. That's
Yep.
more people than they arrested the whole riots.
Correct.
And you see, when people start acting like dumb as fuck, you fuck people like TLO over who uses the Amtrak's.
What I think ended up happening is they realized how their lack of leadership emboldened people
Correct.
to then now it's been like a continuous crime spree.
Yes, it has.
Nobody is stopping anything.
Nope.
There's been carjackings, muggings, stabbings, killings. I mean, it's getting really bad in the city. Like, I'm more and more thankful every day that I have gotten the fuck away from the city. Because it's getting wild.
You know, like
Almost people want to feel like not even sheltering in place from the coronavirus, but sheltering in place from the violence.
Yes.
And even
Right.
then, that don't mean it ain't gonna come to your door.
right,
Right.
and ask Scarlett when Scarlett got down there. I think it was like 20 minutes after you got there, everything started to go up in flames. Target went up in flames. An apartment complex that was being built for elderly people went up in flames.
Oh, we watched them start that on fire.
Yeah.
Oh, dude, that
There
was an
was a bunch
interesting
of
fire to
people in
watch.
there. Dude, there was a bunch of people in there in the beginning starting it. Like, they would have to probably charge 15 to 20 people in total. And some people, it'd be hard to charge people because some people who went in there were journalists to capture things. I'd be
Yep.
interested to know where those pictures are.
Yeah, I'm kind of
We never got
surprised.
to see those.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised in general how lacking of any sort of like evidence from that night really has
Ever
surfaced.
came out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
none of it has. Like,
Isn't it weird?
it's very weird because I'm sorry,
Yeah,
that
you would have
was
thought with
huge.
all these journos that were supposed to be down there, what packages did they get? What pictures did they take?
Exactly.
None because they got arrested. Remember that one?
Well, that was
No, but
the CNN guy.
yeah, some did, but TLO knows what I'm talking about because, like, in particular, we were told in articles afterwards that there were maybe 3 to 4 reporters who were in that building as
Bro.
people were starting to throw Molotov cocktails
Hey,
in the
Scar,
building to start it on fire. What?
there is a caldera in Yellowstone. I'm seeing a video of it on TikTok that wasn't posted that long ago. Like 2 days ago, is smoking like a bitch.
Yeah, if you followed
Um,
Mary Greeley at all,
Hold on,
she's been
I'll show you.
warned.
Hold on, I gotta turn my brightness down.
I haven't watched Mary Greeley in a couple days, but I was watching
That's the
Dutch's latest
volcano,
video.
Scar.
I mean, is that Old Faithful though? Like, what geyser is this? Like, I
I
need to know
don't
more
know, but
information.
that's producing a shit
Old
ton.
Faithful goes off like twice a day. There's other geysers that go off. Like, that's not necessarily
That's
alarming.
caldera.
Now, if this is gonna, the whole goddamn thing is the caldera. The shit is as wide as the
Yeah.
Grand Canyon. What the fuck you mean?
I don't
Yeah.
know that. I don't know if that's Old Faithful or what. I can look it up.
Yeah, I'd like to know what that is. Because if it's in an area that usually does it fumarole like that, it would be interesting to note. Also, I'd like to talk about interesting, notable things with volcanoes. Oregon today has is set on fire. Let me close my cabinet.
Really?
Oregon today was set on fire. And I believe this is through magmatic action. Just the way that the fire occurred, right? How do we make? I want us to be all like. How do we make it? I want to make it different.
What, like that?
Maybe. Yeah. Um. So I think that that's what it is. Cause okay, Dutch came out with a video earlier tonight or today actually that I watched that was talking about some fires in Oregon, right? That popped out of nowhere. And it was a 60-mile long, 10-mile wide fire that all of a sudden just popped up into like the mountains up there. And it's not too far from good old Amboy, Washington, right?
Oh
Right.
God.
And we know what's in Amboy, Washington. Would you like to tell everybody what's in Amboy, Washington, Tila?
No, you go ahead.
Okay. So you've got good old, and I always get these fucked up, but I believe Amboy, Washington is going to be Mount St. Helens.
Yes.
If it's not Mount Rainier, could be Mount Rainier. Regardless, large volcano. Okay,
Yes.
that's there. This fire popped out of nowhere, and I mean, this was in a matter of hours that it exploded. Now, I have gotten real time information just happening to be scrolling through my personal Facebook feed where I know people whose houses in Oregon have already burned.
Mm.
And it's getting close to the line of Washington. And Washington's got fires that are coming down towards Oregon.
Right.
And these fires are just coming out of literally nowhere and just exploding. Now, one of the theories that Dutch and I have had for a long time is potential magmatic surface event, where magma's coming to the surface,
Right.
where then in certain areas of, obviously mountainous region that would have, tectonic plate shifts and have moved in the past, now potentially have broken or faulted or cracked to where now maybe little bits of magma are getting up. Maybe other lava channels and tubes have formed. If anything should teach us something, it should be the 2018 Kilauea eruption, right? Because we found out that lava tubes can develop and literally pop out anywhere.
They
Yes.
can.
When Pu'u'o drained, right, and then Kilauea drained, nobody knew what the fuck was going to happen. And then as we started getting these pop-ups in Leilani Estates, we realized pretty quickly that lava tube had busted through all the way down the Lower East Rift Zone. With the large volcanic complex that is there and on the coast with the Juan de Fuca and the Mendocino Ridge, how do we know that lava tubes and or channels have not expanded within the states of Oregon, Washington, and California to where magma is getting to the surface, why seismic activity could be increasing, because we're seeing maybe not necessarily one theory I've been having is maybe they're not necessarily predicting the big one because of earthquake alone. Maybe they're predicting the big one because they know there will also be volcanic activity with it.
Right.
Because seismic activity and volcanism go hand in hand, right?
Yes.
So when you have volcanic activity, you're going to see seismic activity. That's just the way they go. That's how the volcano is moving. And so I think people would really need to watch this area of Oregon and Washington. Oh, well, can you email webmaster at freedomrevolutionnetwork.com, Migto? Or go to paypal.me/freedomrevolution19. You can also donate there, just on PayPal.
Or
Very
Cash
simple.
App. Hold on. I have the Cash App on my phone.
I believe it's like Cash App FR Network.
Let me look. Hold on.
But back to the seriousness of the situation. They're recently predicting, with a couple articles the last couple weeks, that they're expecting some large seismic activity, right?
Yes.
And now these fires have exploded everywhere, right? In known areas that are around volcanic complex, right? The only thing that's concerning me, like I said, is that if we're setting up to see more of a volcanic event, or is this a volcanic event? Because I've been thinking back to the Paradise fires. They always say lightning strikes, but what if lightning like cracked the ground and the magma was right there and then it just popped up and burned everything, how it stayed so hot? Some of these fires are getting to extremes that are talked about more in like textbook style than actual real effect.
Right.
Which makes me think there's some other outside force fueling it. I don't know if it's 100% natural.
Yeah,
Now, some things
I
do
don't
need to
believe a lot
burn.
of those fires out in California were set off by lightning or whatever. I have a feeling that some of those are from the magma.
I do. I really do. And I've been thinking that for a long time because there was an area in New Mexico a few years ago when I really started paying attention to this pattern where the fires, and then we would have a series of maybe a swarm or two the week before or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That I started noticing was in New Mexico, and there was this volcano in New Mexico that was by an area that they claimed a forest fire had started, but this volcano had people had been reporting that they had been seeing it smoking, right? And it was smoking for a few days before the fire started, and yet they couldn't find a fire, right? That to me could have even just been offing of volcanic gases,
True.
or are volcanic gases seeping out in areas and then these fires are happening and then that's how they're igniting to the extreme.
Right. It's
Because if
fueling it.
you had releases of methane or sulfur dioxide or any of these volatile gases that are in volcanoes, they would start fire. Like the blue flames that kind of happened in Hawaii. And then that's
Right.
how everything kind of slow burned. See, I don't think people really understand how volcanic fire works because it's not like your traditional light your match fire or fueled accelerant fire. It takes
Correct.
a long time to burn, but then once it gets hot, it's like a rolling, raging wildfire, and everything just goes up like sticks, like little matchsticks or toothpicks, just instant burnt, gone. And one of the things that keeps making me think that is, like I said, if you had gases and then you have the magma with just even the heat, let's say even the magma was a few hundred feet under the ground, but gases are releasing and a vent has formed and you're getting all those gases to the surface. And then, like I said, there's a spark, whether that could be lightning, which then would literally spark that whole area
Exactly.
into almost an explosion, but it would be like instant on fire, like if you poured, lighter fluid on it. So that's one of the things that, like I said, I think we really need to watch because these people are getting burned out of their homes quick.
Right.
And we're sitting in the middle of a natural disaster seriousness. And I want to get really serious right now because with the current temperatures, even here, right? It's pretty cold tonight up here.
Yes, it is.
Um, it's cold. Colorado's even colder. Okay, and they're about to get, and parts of Wyoming and Montana are already getting snow. Okay, Colorado will get snow next, where Red's even expected in her area, which it never fucking snows. She's expecting 5 inches on the valley floor.
Wow.
They're expecting
Yikes.
6 feet in the mountains. Yeah, and it does not snow where she lives. It is very rare, few, far in between. And it's definitely not in September.
Definitely not in September.
No, with this clipper system that has come down, I don't think people even realize how many crops are being killed right now. I don't
Correct.
even people think they could fucking fathom how many people are potentially even losing livestock, losing, just immense amounts of everything. Colorado, the whole weed industry. A lot of people have outdoor farms. If you don't have an indoor grow right now, you are fucked.
Right.
You're not even supposed to harvest for a couple more weeks. So you would have to take immature product and somehow bring in potentially hundreds of acres? No, there's no way. So people are going to lose. There's a large agricultural system in Colorado where cattle, potatoes, peaches, there's lots of produce that is grown in Colorado. All that shit is done. They're beyond hard freeze or anything that you could try to keep anything alive. Up here, we're going to have temperatures that dip down, and my 2 counties away from me, we have like a freeze warning, but not here. Um, but and the rest of the state is fine. So we can try to maybe rally and take care of something here. You could try to cover things, water them, or hopefully just hope that the frost, hope that it's not cold enough for a few days that it just kind of survives. But these people in Colorado and other places where it went from 90 degrees today to fucking now 30s overnight, and in some places the 20s, and Red's area is expected a few teens on the valley floor. No one's ready for that.
No.
There's people probably still backpacking in the fucking high country who don't even realize that this is fucking coming.
It's a possibility, yeah.
Oh, no, there's a huge possibility because a lot of those people go out there off grid and don't have any phones or not checking in for like a week. And if they haven't
Right.
checked in since last week thinking things are okay, there's a lot of tourists. Red said today in town, it was wild how many people were there.
Locust
And
formation.
she called it locust formation, which to me, that's really concerning. You're on vacation in a state that's literally, first of all, it's illegal to drive without chains once it fucking snows, first of all, so you better have chains. Number two, most passes close in or out of the valley, so you better have your hunkered down spot. Salida's expected to get 4 to 8, and that's where the pass is. Okay. And that's ridiculous. Okay. Nobody's ready for that, and all the crops are going to be destroyed. Everywhere that this cold is affecting, we could lose the rest of the crops that some places were already destroyed with hail, severe weather, the derecho, this, that, and the other. This is fucked. And if you guys haven't already noticed, they're putting up signs at the grocery store telling you that shortages are coming and to just stay calm. I'm telling you guys, this is serious. Remember when I told you to prep in January? I'm going to need you to prep as hard as you did then, now. Right now. Because when I'm already seeing signs at my local rural store up here, that's like trying to explain away how the supply chain works and why people shouldn't be concerned when we don't see things on the shelves and yada yada and be patient and yada. No, that's telling me that they're getting ready for the big starve. That they know that food is going to run out soon. If you haven't noticed, grocery stores have been reorganizing.
Yes.
Reorganizing their fucking sections. Like, I went into Hy-Vee the other day, and usually you walk into Hy-Vee, and I mean, there's one of the best produce sections you've ever fucking seen in a grocery store. There's probably half of their displays that they brought off of the floor.
I don't even want to talk about fucking.
Hold on, we need to talk about this. Is fucking serious. You could start too,
hold on.
Dwayne.
No, I was going off of what you said.
But hold on, let me finish this thought. When I did fashion merchandising, which is fashion based, but you did like marketing even in like a grocery store, right? Merchandising. The reason why you would shift your displays to remove large displays that usually carry lots of product is because you're not expecting to get more product back in. And you don't want the customer to feel like there is a shortage of whatever is there. And so you reorganize to try to fill in the gaps in space, but yet you don't have those items out anymore. And the produce section was literally like cut in half. My local Aldi, like I said, when I went today, I noticed a lot of things that I usually see. I don't see a few things that I maybe haven't seen before, which means they're probably trying to shuffle around ingredients and things that they do have. It's very concerning what's happening right now. And multiple people have been reporting the same thing. That they're also starting to see shortages again, like at the beginning of the virus, where and a lot of places are putting limits back on things again, like toilet paper, paper towels. Paper towels have been missing at a lot of stores lately. I know it was toilet paper the first round, but now this round it's paper towels.
Which is weird.
It is weird. And what it is that I believe that they're getting to the point with distribution and with manufacturing that they can't keep hiding the deficit anymore. With how many factories closed, with how many have regulations and rules and this or that, how much production is actually happening? Farmers aren't necessarily even able to hire workers or migrant workers because no one can get the fuck in from Mexico this year.
Exactly.
They aren't letting them across the border even for work visa.
Correct.
Definitely not for temporary visa. So when you have a situation where right now some places would start harvesting, harvest would continue now for the next few months, and this is where we get most of our grain coffers, our food coffers. In the winter we switch over to mainly, imported produce. But if those countries are also stricken, and those countries are already having food shortages and they're having weather troubles, places like in Chile recently, in Patagonia, had like severe snowstorms. And then other places were having massive rain that they've never seen before. And some of these areas had never even experienced snow before.
True.
These are little like alpine mountain towns that, maybe it gets down to 60, 50 at night, but we're talking snow. Like, exactly. If you wanted to buy rice, you need to do it yesterday. Like, this needs to be like an absolute number one seriousness of life right now. Like, if you don't have food stocked up, honestly, at this point for fucking years. Because here's the deal. If we actually devolve to the point where grocery stores start to get so slim pickings that I believe that they will start doing an online only ordering system where they have you like do your online like curbside,
Yeah.
and then you won't be able to see what's in the store because there ain't shit in there.
Right.
And you'll just see like, oh, my order didn't go through, I can't get anything, and then everybody can't get anything. And then by the time we all realize it, it's too late because everything's already been gone. No one rationed anything. And the ones who prepared have things and those who don't. And it's real. I'm very, very concerned. I know a lot of people who don't prepare ahead for food and don't have tons of food saved up. Even people like my parents, they maybe have maybe a month's worth of food, maybe. And that's just because that's how much they usually keep.
Right.
Not because they can't afford to get more food. That's just how much they usually keep. So they're not thinking about this. And I keep telling them, but I keep being right about this virus and about what's happening. When they laid my dad off in March, I said, you might need to start thinking about the idea that your job doesn't come back. And that they might just keep stringing you along till eventually they say, like, we don't have your position or the company's going under. And at first, I was laughed off and almost kind of told to shut up. Like, you don't know what you're talking about. And he was supposed to go back in June. Then they called in June and were like, maybe we'll go back August, 1st of September. And then almost August rolls around and they're like, you know what? We probably aren't going to start till the first of the year. See how this works?
Exactly.
And I want to say that
You see what I
because
mean? And this is downtown. This is a prominent downtown Minneapolis business. It's across from Gavaday. It's by the Gavaday, right? And I feel like they're not coming back. I mean, I hope for him that it does, but I don't know. I called it in the beginning that I knew these businesses would kind of shut down and close and never regain the opportunity for people. And then it's going to be the ultimate, how do you find a job? Because there's only so many jobs now because a lot of things have closed. So you don't even have the opportunity of applying anywhere because there is nowhere because everybody else has lost their job.
like when COVID first started, a lot of my buddies that were EMTs got laid off.
Right.
And they didn't go back, I think, till last month.
Yeah, that's a long time.
And when you
I
were
mean, if
talking
they were
about,
getting unemployment though, because they were laid off, that's different because they were getting that extra 600 a week.
No, they were
federal
still.
government.
The federal government was paying them because they were federal employees.
Yeah, and your state's unemployment paid the federal dollars, so those guys got good money while they sat off. Like that's bottom line.
You know, but here's the thing: when you talk about stores reorganizing, mine complete Walmart completely. And I've been in this Walmart since I was a kid, and I used to know
Right?
where everything was at. God damn it! I walk in there. I'm gonna sit up for this one. I walk in there the other fucking day. I walk in there. The first 5 aisles are the same. The next like 20 fucking aisles, I'm going like, what? Like where the
And I
pop
mean,
used to
sometimes they
be.
re-merchandise, but like I feel like they've shortened sections, kind of taken space out for certain things, kind of reorganized a little bit.
They haven't
They might
shortened.
have something you want, but there might only be two of them.
They
You know
haven't
what I mean?
short.
Like,
They haven't shortened their production of what's out there. What they did is they moved the pop into the back of the fucking store, and now
well,
it's a
that's
whole.
different. That's just basic
Well,
merchandising. I know Walmarts who have done that though.
but watch this though. Hold on, and then when there's a whole fucking aisle of just water now. The TP used to be the cleaning section. There's fucking TP, just a whole TP aisle. There's a whole toilet paper aisle. And I walked in there to get TP the one day, and the fucking price on for a 6 pack of fucking toilet paper is almost $8 fucking.
Yep. Yep. It's expensive. Yeah. Oh,
Indeed.
front facing. Thank you, Big Toe. Front facing, like your displays. That, like I said, that to me is a signal. Because, in other stores for a while we're just filling shit with bullshit. Just putting whatever there to fill the space. Now they're realizing that people are catching on to that and now just shortening sections, shortening end caps, putting random shit on an end cap that might have had a specialty product before. I've just noticed these small changes, and I just don't want any of us to be caught off guard. Because, as you guys know, I feel like all of you guys here at the Freedom Revolution Network are like family. And I want to see all of us make through the Grand Solar Minimum and survive and thrive, right? That's why I've moved off grid. I can now walk the walk and talk the talk. I'm doing it. So there's no other excuse for anybody out there not to also be doing it at this point. It's real. Anybody can do it.
And that's the one thing that
We've got to secure a way to keep ourselves alive. And it's not going to necessarily be in these cities, especially if we're already seeing grocery stores collapse before the collapse. Like, that's the worst thing that could happen. This is why I think things are getting tight over in those neighborhoods, right now where the violence is happening too, because there aren't any gas stations open yet. There aren't any places to get medicine from. There isn't any grocery fucking stores. Shit's already getting tight.
Correct.
Shit's already getting tight. And that's like a mini microcosm for the world of what's going to happen. Once all these, it's great that we have stores, but what the fuck happens when there's nothing to go buy in them? Then what? Then
Exactly.
what will people do?
right.
People will break in somewhere to get food.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but hunger makes you do a bunch of crazy things. And I don't blame anybody trying to feed people. Because at this point, and I hate to sound like this person, and this sounds really liberal right now, and I apologize. Um, but with how much wealth we have as the world, there's no reason why anybody's fucking struggling.
Correct.
There is no fucking reason on earth, besides people choose to have greed, that there is no reason why we can't be struggling. When world hunger itself can be solved by $35 billion. That's it. That's all we need. We could fucking solve world hunger. Not fucking quell it, not fucking slow it down. No. Fucking solve that shit. We have a problem when there are people making trillions of dollars. That's a fucking problem.
Exactly.
35 million, not billion. $35 million could solve world hunger. This is a damn shame. There's no reason why we should live in supposedly the greatest world that ever lived, and we have all this money and all this innovation, but yet every half of the people on fucking Earth, 3/4 of the people fucking on Earth live in fucking squalor. That makes no fucking sense. And I get that everybody needs to work to where they need to be. But at the same time, too, there's no reason why we can't all start on an even playing field when people have as much money as they fucking do.
You know what? And here's the thing, that's like why one of the groups that I march with, this girl has 2 freezers stocked up of food for people who need it.
Right. Which is nice. You know, and a lot of people have been trying to help. You know, if you don't have money, if you don't have a job, you know, hit me up. You know, and some of these people I might do that for, you know.
You
Like
know, like I told her, like,
I
hey,
would
we
like
have,
it I would like the favor returned, you know. I'm
you know,
not
like,
living off of bajillions of dollars right now. We have absolutely no money. Mr. Tire hasn't worked in a month because we've had to move all this stuff.
you
Like,
know,
and we have to relocate. So it's like, we have no money. We're living on like a prayer at this point.
and like when I asked her, like, hey, like, my friend needs help. Can you can you pick me up and we can go surprise her with something? She looked at me going like, what does she need? I'm on like, she got a 5-year-old, a 10-year-old, and a 12-year-old.
Right,
She needs enough to cook for 5 because her 3 kids, her and her husband. And
right.
she at least brought them 2 pounds worth of groceries. And it was about $100 worth of stuff. And said, here, this is what I got. And people are bringing food to her every day to put in these coolers. And I've been going out on
Right,
deliveries with her, and it's just amazing to walk up and knock on someone's door. Like sometimes we don't even stay at the door. We sit the bags down, we knock, and we run because
right.
we don't want people knowing who we are.
Well, here's the deal. The only way that we're truly going to survive this as people is if we work together to try to feed each other. It's not going to come through selfishness and be like, oh, I have all these things, you have nothing, too bad for you. Um, that's going to make you a target because somebody's going to find out what you have and they're going to come for it. Um, but at the same time, if we can't find groups and coalitions to work together, we're going to be fucked. If we can't find ways that we could create food, we could create, you know, basically new systems of living. Because right now, as I feel it, society feels like it's collapsing.
It
Yes.
is. And here's my thing on that because I was talking to a buddy of mine who is a fire chief at a station in Texas. I met him when I went into Harvey.
Right.
And Scarlett knows I made a lot of friends coming out of that.
We all did.
And I called him and I said, hey, like, what does it feel like, because he posted something on Facebook going like, dude, I don't know how much more I can take of this shit. And I went like, okay, well, first off, I thought he was talking about he was wanting off himself. So I immediately pick up the phone and I call him. Like, the fuck's going on? Like, don't you start fucking talking like this, you dumbass. Picking on him for a minute, try to get him to laugh. He went like, dude, it feels like society itself is collapsing. He went like, I am dealing with 8 to 9 gunshot victims a day, rape cases all fucking day, murders all fucking day, officers being shot all fucking day. And he said, we're also going out and buying food for the community and doing cookouts and shit. He went like, it has become so much of a struggle to even try to survive. This is getting so bad. And this is like another thing, like me and my fiance are doing is like, we're not even eating out when we're at the hotel. I think we're eating out once, and that's on her birthday. We are getting TV dinners, and Scarlett's. I'm still pissed off at her. She called my kids' cuisines trash.
They are trash. TLO, trash.
Tilo, don't
Okay,
even go there.
yeet, yeet or eat. You bone or yeet. We're gonna go bone or yeet.
Uh,
Kid cuisines, bone or yeet.
I don't. I don't think I should weigh in on this one.
I feel it because I know you're gonna say yeet them motherfuckers, but
No, I would say not.
you would bone kid cuisines.
Let's go. Let's go!
Them things are trash. They're
Fuck
just
you,
not
Scarlet.
good.
Fuck you.
They're trash,
You
but
pay
they're good
food.
trash.
I mean,
Because
I don't
there
know
are
if they're
some
good
things
trash.
as good trash as Taco Bell for decades has
No,
given
Taco
us.
Bell is dead to me.
But like I was
Taco Bell's
saying,
dead to me.
so like I was saying,
They're talking about taking away the Mexican pizza. They
hold
Yeah,
on,
already took my steak taco. No,
let me
they already
let
took my
me
steak
finish.
taco. They already took my spicy tostada. They are dead to me.
Let me
this
finish.
is
Hold on a
part of
minute.
that food shortage you were talking about.
Let me finish. So
The
instead of
food
us,
shortage goes up or things get more short and the price goes up, and so there no way that they can survive with their price points without raising the price, and they can't do that because it destroy their price points. And so therefore they're just removing the items from the menu, just like a lot of
Right.
places that used to offer, because it was like this big fad or thing, like, ooh, get the fatty acids of like avocados and stuff, and so everyone had like avocados or guacamole, but now they don't offer any of that shit because that's expensive.
Everybody said that the avocados that they've been getting in have been like they look okay on the outside, but you cut inside and they're like rotten.
There have been quite a few of those. I've come across
Yeah,
some
I've
myself.
been hearing that a lot. Like that has been the case, that just produce and food in general is not looking good. And that's because I think they're having to pick it earlier. They don't have the right help.
Yep.
Growing seasons just aren't turning out the way people thought they were. This year, especially here, has been a really terrible year for growing. A lot of people's tomatoes, we still have green ones on the vine. Some of these have been planted for like 5 months.
Right.
I mean, there's absolutely no reason for it to be this far behind.
Yeah.
And so, but everybody seems to be having the same issue. And so that shows me that something is changing within our world that's not allowing for what we knew for as growing seasons to function. And that it keeps bringing me back to that fucking Ag Day article that came out probably about 3 years ago now, that stated you have 5 years. Producers, farmers, everybody had 5 years to figure out a new way of doing things, or else we would be in trouble with growing food.
Right.
Like it's really serious. But I bet MGTOW and for other things, I bet it's really expensive too. I bet, yeah, maybe ground beef is at a surplus right now because maybe the supply chain is now cleared up and people don't have as much demand on processors for beef, so now they have a surplus, and then that's why it's cheap. But maybe other things have went up in price, and maybe only just slightly.
Right.
Because if they just raise everything, 10, 20, 30 cents every time we go, we're not going to notice it until, a box of something is $8. When your favorite, cereals are, that's why I always appreciate Aldi, because at least Aldi has really decent prices for food.
Right.
You can get decent snacks and all types of things. And so that's half of the issue, is that I just don't think people are ready for what's actually going to happen. Like, we think about it, but I personally think, and this is saying, a lot, that this is going to be like the next Holodomor.
Mm.
Like, it's going to be like Holodomor 2.0. And it's just going to be worse. Especially if we get some of those layers of communism that people believe are coming down the pipe. When Holodomor happened, Ukraine wanted to become sovereign and autonomous from Russia. And Russia was like, oh, no, 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 you can't
Yeah.
do that. Right? So then they set up this system of control where they're like, okay, you can have your little farms, you can have this or that, but you have to grow this much for the government. And
Yep.
they would put in such outrageous orders that there would be nothing left for even the family to eat themselves. So naturally they would, try to pilfer some away and tell the government, oh, this is all we had, find their stash of food that they took from their own growing operation and kill them over it. Or there'd be people in the fields working and they would be denied food. And if they tried to eat food out of the fields, they'd be shot on sight.
Right.
I believe in things like this happen in North Korea. There have been reports in the last month or so that they have said that all of their pets had to go to slaughter.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Yeah, corn on the cob. I'll tell you why corn on the cob is more expensive right now, because corn season was really bad for
Yes.
everybody.
Corn got
Everybody.
corn got its ass handed to it.
Yeah, and no one knows why. Because even like the good organic corn that we grow, on the farm where I milk cows, even that corn didn't turn out good. And I mean, this man has grown corn every year of his life since he was small. Probably rode with his dad in the tractor when he was little to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would say he's a professional. I mean, he's one of the last farmers that grows his own oats, his own barley, his own corn to make his own feed.
Ah.
So I would say out of people growing things, he's more of an expert because he's been doing it and has to do it for the survival of his animals.
Yes.
And it just didn't turn out this year.
No.
So I'm not quite sure.
The
Go
weather's
ahead,
changing.
Taylor.
I mean, look at what's happening right now with the snow. The snow
Oh, yeah.
and the extreme temperature swing.
That's true.
And all this is all kind of like culminated at the same time, and that's what's causing all of this, is all this chaos at the same time. And people, as you said, not being able to deal with it.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's just the only thing. I'm not. I'm just not quite sure about it all.
Oh yeah, he could still play Batman. He still got it.
Hold on. It's getting a little chilly in right now.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Good morning, Total Vagabonds. Yeah, so, I'm just trying to not freeze. But so far, so good. It's pretty warm in here, to be honest. I'm surprised with no insulation. It's
Yeah.
pretty warm. So
Right.
that's good so far. Could be worse. So that's how I'm feeling. Dwayne said he was just going and coming back. I feel
I
like he
know.
lied and left us.
It does seem like he disappeared.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
Now, one thing I'm going to have to check out. Dutch premiered a new video talking about a dew beam shooting from California up to Washington. Also, Ice Age Farmer just premiered a video. Farms blame for COVID-19 brucellosis false flag. Yeah, because I guess there was a Senate bill 4453 to protect the continuity of the food supply chain in the United States in response to COVID-19 and for other purposes.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
Yeah, so we're going to have to see what this is about. I'm going to have to watch those two videos because I feel like they're going to be connected, because I saw somebody else post about brucellosis earlier, and they try to say it comes from like unpasteurized dairy products and gets into the food supply through XYZ and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Then, too, also tonight on the tropical storm front, we've got Tropical Storm Renee that formed in the Atlantic hours after Paulette. Now that's supposed to stay, far into the areas of like Bermuda,
Right.
way off the
Sorry.
coast of the Bermuda area, but still, this is the earliest known, it was the earliest known P storm, and now the earliest known R storm, and they're literally kind of tracking, similarly. Now, I would be concerned about not Bermuda, but more so if it keeps turning, eventually it likes to turn and then go hit the kind of those islands out there. I don't know what they're called.
What are we
But now I
talking
can't
about
think
so
of
I can
what
get caught up?
The Keys.
we're talking about the for
Oh, Scarlett,
Yeah,
you're breaking up
we're
real bad,
losing
hon.
Scarlett.
Tilo, what are we talking about?
She's talking about some new videos that came out.
Okay.
Okay, hold on.
I hear you right there.
Okay, good. Yeah, so this storm, they're looking like they're kind of coasting up. Now, Renee is expected to become a hurricane, but it should stay off the coast. As
Oh,
well
God.
as Paulette.
What about the
But
other one all the way in the back?
that's Renee that just formed behind Paulette.
We
We're
can't
already
afford.
down to R. We're already down to R. And then we have
Yeah, I know.
ST. And then they don't do like U or V or X or Y. They're going to start the alphabet here after more. This will be the earliest year, I'm sure, ever on record that we're switching over to the Greek alphabet.
Right. We were close. I know we were close when Irma hit. We were close, but we didn't get there.
Yeah, I mean, we got down to like Michael and, all that year.
But I think this is the first year as hurricane season. This is the first year that we've ever hit the Greek alphabet
in September. Like we could literally hit it in September because there's going to be a few more storms in September.
Yeah.
And especially Reed Timmers is going to go chase this storm in Colorado, right? He just made a video. Remember that video I made you watch?
Yeah, I watched it.
Okay. Then what was he supposed to go do after that, Dwayne?
He was supposed to go chase another storm.
Right. So, and what dates did Mr. Reed Timmer give?
I don't remember the dates.
Do you remember? The 17th and the 18th of September.
Okay. Yeah, and you know what? And speaking of her,
talking 10 days from now.
Right. Speaking of hurricanes, I do have an update on Laura, by the way, on the aftermath that was caused. My buddy's down there working with the Cajun Navy, and he's saying with the damages and everything, the water damages, the power damages, structural damage, they're not looking to be able to recover financially and property wise for at least a year. You're breaking up again, Scar.
I could imagine that.
They said that when they got there, water was up to a third-story house.
Yes, and nobody was talking about it. That's what we were saying that night that we did live hurricane coverage, right? This is why we said, remember we got off the air. Now, you had left off the air, and it was me and Jorn, and was it somebody else? Who else? I don't remember. What I do remember is,
and my mom for a little bit.
Yeah. What I do remember is that we were like, it's really weird and information. And it's like once that national radar went down, that was it. And I knew it was going to be bad earlier that day. It picked up to leave.
Scar, you're breaking up again, hon.
I can't do anything about connection, Dwayne. I'm in the middle of the fucking woods up north. There's nothing I can do. I don't have Wi-Fi. I can't change my signal. There's nothing I can do. Just have to deal with it.
I was just saying
I can't change anything about it. I
was
get
just
that,
saying
but
some of
mending it
your
every
sentences
time
are.
doesn't help. I understand that, but mending it every time isn't gonna help. The signal is gonna go out occasionally. I finish once I'm done. But I don't know. This is some real serious situations, because that's why I kept saying, why can't we get any more information? Why is no one saying anything? Why aren't we hearing real reports like we used to hear? I feel like once they took out the cell towers and the cell towers were taken out due to some of these winds, then that's when we just lost total communication. Because the
And
devastation that's actually occurring down there is a lot worse than national media or anybody else would want you to believe.
right, and I have a total death count so far.
Open a
From
door.
what
It's cold. What do you mean open a door?
I have a total death count as of right now.
It's like 40 degrees outside. I'm not opening a door. Are you crazy?
The death count right now is at least 2,200 with at least 200 injured.
I could see that.
And will you want to know where they're putting them back in again?
Where?
Ice cream parlors.
Right. Yeah, I it's fucked up. That's all you can say. Every time one of these storms happen, they want maximum damage and people to, suffer. And a lot of people didn't evacuate, chose not to evacuate for whatever reason. And, that puts you at risk.
And he's saying this is that he said he had to leave, I think, and go back where he was staying for a day because it was so bad. He was walking into houses and it was reeking.
Right.
But I'm gonna say this, and it's like this. Laura really did mess with me, but through this, I normally give one verse a night. I haven't yet. The Bible does talk about Deuteronomy 31:8 says, "The Lord himself goes before you and will be with you. He never leaves you nor forsakes you. Do not be discouraged." And then he says that again in Joshua 1:5. "No one will be able to stand against you all the days of your life, as I was with Moses. So I will be with you. I will never leave you nor forsake you." He goes again and says it in First Kings. He says it in Job's. He says it in Psalms, Exodus, Matthew, Mark, Ezekiel, Acts, Isaiah, Judges, First Kings, Habakkuk, Hosea, Isaiah, Leviticus, Exodus. It said so many times throughout the Bible, "I will never leave you nor forsake you." And a lot of people through this, and he said the one thing he saw is like on dry land, people were holding a church service. All right, TLO, we love you.
All right. You have a good night now.
You too.
Have a good night, TLO. We miss you. Come back soon.
All right. Later, guys.
Later. And Scar, I have to believe, because that night was a very big spirit-filled night for me.
Mm-hmm. It was for a lot of people too. The interesting thing is that after we were praying and praying for the people, and talking about, we hope it's not as bad. That told their story, told stories of how they, prayed, and how they, believe, really had this moment in connection with spirit that they think protected them.
Right.
And I found that really interesting.
And like
to be
what I'm
honest.
getting and like what I'm getting ready to preach on this week, and it's amazing because I was showing Scarlett this the other night, because it came to my mind, when I preached on it last week, and I did it because of what was placed on my heart the night of Hurricane Laura. If you go
Right.
back into the book of Ephesians, and you go into chapter 6, and you go into verse 19, 18, and it says, "Pray in the Spirit on all occasions with all prayers and requests. But this in mind, be alert and always keep on praying for all the Lord's people. Pray also for me that whenever I speak, words may be given to me so that I will fearlessly make known the mystery of the gospel." Now watch this, what Paul says next. It says, "For which I am an ambassador in chains. Pray that I may declare it fearlessly as I should." And that's what people were doing in Laura.
Right.
They're God's people, and in a time of their life, that happens. And it's so weird, how God just worked that night. Because you can ask Scarlett, like, I was having the most difficult time on air, and I'm normally never like that when I'm working like that. I've never been so emotional like that working. Like, besides it being in Harvey, but over Zello and everything, I'm more calm, cool, and collected when my calls are coming in. But this hurricane, dude, I don't know what happened. It's like my emotions and just afraid where people were gonna go. It's like it just bothered me.
Well, had worst case scenario actually happened, we would have lost a lot more people.
Yeah.
And they are saying they have to do research to figure out what actually happened, because they don't understand why it didn't hit that way. And so that's something that we need to all ask ourselves. Was that potential divine intervention?
I think it was.
Oh, shit. Frost on Thursday? That's shit, you guys. Not cool. Not cool.
Because like a song that I sang last week, and I'll just give a part of it, I'm not gonna play or anything. I mean, I will at the end of it. It says, hold on, wrong song. I pulled up the wrong song.
Get it together.
It says in verse 3, "And on that day when my strength is failing, the end draws near, and my time is come, still my soul will sing your praises unending, 10,000 years and then forevermore."
Right.
Which I'll play that song at the end because I'm going to be on for a little bit more.
How much longer? Because I need to go to bed.
Probably like another 10 minutes. I'm going to probably
Okay.
play this song for y'all, and then we're going to end it with a word of prayer. And with what happened, and this is where I'm going to get scriptural for a minute.
I've got to teach my kiddos in the morning. Tomorrow they want to start homeschool, so.
It's not bad. Scripturally speaking, with them saying that it didn't get as bad as we all thought it was going to be. Like, oh my God, me and Scarlett thought it was going to be so much worse than what it is. We thought it
Well,
was
the
going to be
bottle
Harvey
said it
2.
was.
We thought it was
Well,
going
the
to be
bottles. I didn't
Harvey
think.
2.0.
I never thought it was going to be Harvey as far as like the rain for days and the stationary effect, but the water heights and the potential danger. Because I mean, storm surge. Okay, flooding even. 10 foot high is ridiculous, right? But storm surge is worse because you have salt water inundation coming in. So it's going to kill your lawn. It's going to kill your trees. It's going to damage anything it touches and just literally destroy it.
Right. You know, and I guess the thing is too, is like with us saying it was going to be Harvey 2.0, but the structure damage, the water flooding, that it didn't go that bad because with Harvey we were talking about 8, 9, 10 floors of water. You
Yeah,
know,
I mean, it ended up raining 60 inches in Houston.
and
It
it's
broke a
just
record for
amazing.
the most rain ever until Hawaii during the Kilauea event. Then afterwards, I believe it was on Oahu, they also had an event where like extreme rain had occurred.
Right,
So,
and it's like just with everything going on and a lot of us drawing back to God, it's amazing what pandemics can do, and it's amazing what a natural disaster can do to a person who has little faith. The
right,
Bible does talk, you just have to have faith the size of a mustard seed.
right.
And this is where, I'm going to get a little emotional for a minute. When I was in the worst times of my life, I had no faith.
Right.
No faith to where I almost accidentally committed suicide. I had an old class, I had an old class belt in my hand. It was like a dress belt and a rope. And I went to go step foot out of the tree and I fell. I fell into the belt. I was 5 seconds away from being dead. And I was saved. Then I was transferred into Mohican Youth Academy where I found my faith again and my relationship with God was restored. When I got out, my faith drifted again. I went back into active addiction again. And then I didn't want no help until I moved back into my mom's here in March. It's actually either March or April I moved back in. And I will say this, it's been one of the most amazing trials and tribulations that a person can ever go through. Because when God calls you, and you never know when you're going to close your eyes, and that's going to be your last day. And I want to get serious here for a minute. Because you never know when you're going to close your eyes and you're going to lay down. Lay down and close your eyes. That's going to be your last breath, your last moment before you stand face to face with the Creator. And as a minister and as an evangelist, it's my job to help people get back to God or bring them to the Almighty Power, the one who loves unending, the one whose faith never falters, the one whose love never falters, the one where you can hit your knees and go like, God, I'm lost. Because when we don't feel that presence, if we're a Christian, it's because God's wanting us to reach back out. And it reminds me of a poem. I only see one set of footsteps in the sand, but that was him carrying you the whole time. But I'm gonna go ahead and play this real quick, and then I'll have Scarlett close us in a word of prayer because I love when Scarlett prays, dude. I feel something in it. But we're gonna do this real quick. We're just gotta scroll down a little bit. So. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul. Worship His holy name. Sing like never before. Oh my soul, worship Your holy name. The sun comes up, it's a new day dawn. Mom's about to come in my room. What's up? I didn't hear. I am. Back where I was at. Sorry, my mom walked in the mom. Something smells like it's burning. Back to verse 1, sorry. The sun comes up, it's a new day dawning. It's time to sing your song again. Whatever may pass and whatever lies before me, let me be singing when the evening comes. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul. Worship His holy name. Sing like never before. Oh my soul, I worship your holy name. Rich in love and you're slow to anger. Your name is great and your heart is kind. For all your goodness I will keep on singing. 10,000 reasons for my heart to find. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul. Worship His holy name. Sing like never before. Oh my soul, I worship your holy name. On that day when my strength is failing, the end draws near and my time has come. Still my soul will sing your praise unending. 10,000 years and then forevermore. Bless the Lord, oh my soul, oh my soul. Worship His holy name. Sing like never before. Oh my soul, worship your holy name. Yes, I'll worship your holy name. I'll worship your holy name. By the way, I don't know the credits of that. That's 10,000 Reasons. Bless the Lord by Matt Redman. One of my favorite Christian artists, to be honest.
It was wonderful, Dwayne.
I'm divulging into more Christian music. But Scarlett, you want to kick us off here with a word of prayer?
Yeah, I will. Um, Heavenly Father, we come before you weighed down by our sins, our known and unknown guilt, our part in causing the miseries of our bleeding times. We have not always been loyal to our Lord Jesus Christ. We have not always spoken the word of his forgiveness and peace to others as we ought. We have not lived as children of your holy family as we should. To whom shall we turn if we cannot run to you? We humble ourselves under your mighty hand, which rests heavily upon us at this time, Lord. We are ashamed and defenseless. But there's forgiveness with you, Father, for we pray in the name of Jesus Christ, our Savior, and in him we know that you love us and you have redeemed us. In him we learn that you bring down only to raise up, and you make us nothing, only to create us new again. We wait on you, Father, to restore us to the joy of your salvation and uphold us with your strengthening spirit. Though you slay us, yet we will trust in you, for we have no other hope or help than you. Lord God, ruler of all men, we confess to you the unruliness of our nature, the disorderly inclinations of our minds, the rebellious whims of our hearts. We recognize our need to be guided right now, Lord, our need to be ruled, and our need to be disciplined at this time. We ask you to guide us by just laws, to rule us with love, to govern us through response, to give us judges wise, to raise up legislators with integrity, to appoint executives who are honest. We pray to you to help us exercise our freedoms, help us discharge our obligations, help us hold the law in high regard through the love of our Lord Jesus, who was made under law, obedient for our sakes. In his name, amen.
Amen. Guys, I want to thank everybody for being here tonight, and it's felt so good to be back online. I will be on tomorrow, I say 3 or 4 in the afternoon after I wake up, and I'm gonna bring y'all a message tomorrow. And I love each and every one of you, and it means a lot,
Absolutely.
that we have you here. And guys, if you don't know who Christ is, you only got to say a few simple words. Father, forgive me, for I have sinned, to come into my life and to let you be known through me. And that's simple.
Doesn't have to
That's
be what people think it is to accept Christ into your life,
when I did it,
or
it was in the
whatever
gym.
or whatever you believe. It doesn't have to be Christianity. I just want
You know,
people to believe in something that
right,
it shows them the higher power, that shows them
right.
the deeper meaning and connection to what's happening.
And when
That's
I was in a jail cell, that's when I hit my knees waiting to be transferred to Mohican. I said, God, forgive me, for I have sinned. Come
right.
into my life, help me, love me, show me what to do. And that was it. The guys from the seas into the skies, and from a country ran under the authority by God Himself. Good night, y'all. Scarf.
From the land of 10,000 lakes. Good night, universe.
And